All right. And we are live. The last word with Lord Cognito and Ebontis. Friday morning, fresh at the campfire once again. What's going on, E?
Oh, we got some awesome charity work going on this week, which we'll talk about in a second. We got some teases of stuff coming up in the fall. But before we get to talking about anything that we got in here right now, we've got a gentleman joining us from across the pond this morning, joining us with his afternoon break. Because he's ahead of us in the time travel world. He jumped through the corridors of time a little bit as we chatted before class. So let's get this man introduced so we can get this thing rolling.
Yeah, man, let's do it. Welcome to The Last Word, episode number 108. And it's another glorious Friday. We're back in front of the campfire for some more looter-shooter discussion. I'm extremely excited about our special guest, so we're going to get right into it. I want to introduce a lord whose meteoric rise as a Destiny content creator has truly been a sight to behold. Not only is this lord the epitome of informative and concise information, but his commentaries, guides, and reviews are some of the very best in the looter shooter community. Introducing the creator and host of the Jarvenis YouTube channel and contributor to the iconic Planet Destiny movement, Lord Ebontis' fellow Last Rites member, and recently the 6 million channel view man. Woo. Live from London, UK, and kind enough to make his debut at the campfire of The Last Word. My man, Lord Jarvenis. How you doing, sir?
How am I supposed to live up to an introduction like that? That's insane, bro.
You're in the campfire, man. We got to introduce you right. We got to show you some love, man.
Welcome, man.
When you put things out, like that, that's you forget all the little things, man. When you lay it out like that, that's an insane
set
of achievements right there. Yeah, it's crazy.
You ought to walk around a little taller, a little broader in the shoulders, a little strut today. A little strut in that step.
How you doing, man? What's been going on, man? Otherwise, how you been otherwise?
Yeah, been good, man. It's been a hectic start to a season, as we spoke about before the show. 15 videos in 10 days or something crazy. And I'd start calming that down a little bit for you guys, but it's it's been crazy and everything like that. It's been kicking off and massive achievements, like you say. 6 million was something that I didn't even think I'd hit when I started it. So to smash through it and to
you've been crushing it, man. Absolutely. Anybody who's noticed you at all, that absolutely on fire. So no, it's well deserved and a lot of hard work put in and paying off. So you're in the right place, doing the right things.
No doubt, man. So yeah, when you got the news, man, I mean, I saw you subtweeted kind of like when you knew like it might happen, and then it's like boom, not too long after it'll happen, right? So that was really cool to see, man. So I actually have a couple of questions for you too, in reference to obviously why we here, this game of ours that we seem to continue to play consistently, despite the masses sometimes wondering why we still play this game. But for you personally, I always wanted to Jarv, like where did this love for Destiny really start? Like how did that whole thing develop for you?
I've been a massive Bungie fan for a long time. Me and my other half, my wife, we played Halo together a lot. Nice. We played them through back to back, getting all the skulls, things like that. Ooh. So we spent a lot of time doing that, and just the way Bungie games feel to play is unmatched. So when they were like moving on to like a new IP from Halo into Destiny and seeing some of the concept art, it was just like, yep. Sign me up, alpha and beta, and, creating this social world and creating and building friendships like with you guys and stuff that would not even exist if it wasn't for even a game like Destiny. Absolutely. Destiny's made friendships and more for a lot of people around the world. So we would never have expected this when it first started, but yeah, just to see where it's come since it was started its development probably nearly, what was it now? 2012 was it when they first started talking about Destiny?
Yeah,
so I think they talked
a long time.
It's a decade in the making, even if a couple of those years were behind the scenes. But yeah,
sure.
It's like, I mean, you have the iconic company of Bungie, and then they go completely out on a limb and make something like this, and people's first raids like tie people together and everything. It's been kind of an amazing experience. So it's kind of nice to see another person remind us of like how it hits you.
Absolutely.
You go in with just that transition from one insane IP to a next, and then it becomes something else that completely transforms your life and your friendship circles and things like that. So it's crazy, to be honest. But and to see how they can put a raid in a first person shooter always intrigued me. And if anyone was going to pull it off, it was going to be Bungie, right? So
Absolutely. We talk about that offline, how we talk about other looter shooters and that hook, right? That thing that kind of gets you to come back. And it's just something about, Bungie, as far as, like I said, the dungeons and the raids and, PvP, that end game content kind of stuff. But, so as you were going on with it, what were those specifically the hooks? It was just the Bungie name. What specific class? What were the combination of things that really got you to stay invested?
I've had a couple of clans along the way. I think one of my first experiences was bumping into people in the Cosmodrome and messaging them, and then joining their fire team, and then joining them again a few days later, creating a small network of friends, create our own little clan, join a part of a bigger clan. I was part of that for over 2 years, separated ways with them, created our own clan off the back of that, and that grew, and we met DJ EGX over here in the UK, and massive UK clan. I'm personal friends with a lot of them, and I still chat to them on the day-to-day.
Oh, that's awesome.
But managing a clan and then trying to create content is both of them are full-time jobs, and you can't do both. It's impossible. So, to find a clan that was doing relatively well and to hand it off wasn't an easy decision, but it was the right one for them, and it was I feel it's obviously a right one for me too. But I still talk and chat and play when I can with them. They're cool. But yeah, it's the friends and the social networks it creates is unquestioned, really, and it wouldn't be possible without what Destiny's done, really, to be honest.
Preach, brother. You said it well, man. It's those connections, right? The people you meet, people you come across with, interact with, and all that good stuff. Just so cool, man. So then you go on with it, you stick with it, you change up the clans, you do it and doing this stuff. So the content creation part, how did that start? What made you say, you know what, I'm going to do a YouTube channel. I'm going to get out there, and you want to produce content about the game. Yeah,
I guess everyone tries, or some people, if they want to do that, will give it a go. I tried that back in 2016 was when I first created my YouTube channel, and I did maybe half a dozen videos or so, not really knowing how or what I wanted to sort of produce, or just putting them out there, and they got a few views. And like I said before the show, most of them were probably me. Just, are they live? Is anyone watching these?
Working?
We know the feeling.
Yeah.
Mom, have you subbed to my channel for me?
You're supposed to be my friend. What's going on? I didn't see y'all in the chat today. I was looking for the 3 people.
I can look at my list of subs. I know who's on there. Where you at?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you have those initial challenges as a content creator, especially on YouTube, is that discoverability, and that sort of, I guess, switched me off a little bit, because I wasn't really seeing the engagement there, which is normal when you're brand new. But when you're brand new to content creation, you might not, your expectations are much higher than your early achievements, at least anyway. And Twitch was relatively newish, I guess. That's how old I am, I guess. But
hey, don't worry. You got a fellow OG here. We're all old.
That's it. I'm just about a millennial, I think. Just about. Try streaming for a bit. I did that for 6 or 7 months or so, and then PD was changing hands. They'd gone quiet into for a period of time, and then I got taken over. And Moon picked up the reins and has been rebuilding it sort of from the ground up, from the inside, to produce the content that we all know and love. Planet Destiny was huge for me as a fan of the game. Going back, and a lot of people that were part of PD then are still producing incredible stuff, and to be able to be a part of that. And there wasn't even official positions available in terms of being a streamer for PD. I just saw Moon sort of just taking over as sort of general manager, and I was just like, I'll just send her a DM, just a bit of opportunistic approach. Hey,
you got to shoot your shot, brother. Yeah.
If you don't try, I said to myself, what's the worst they're going to say? No.
Exactly.
You know,
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm in the same position I am now before I send anything. You know, my content was, I like to try and keep it positive and keep a positive spin. But if there's stuff to call out, I'll happily discuss those things.
Right.
And also it creates a bit of a platform for them in a time zone that they might not be able to support normally. So it's like, okay, cool.
See, thinking outside the box there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So look how he assessed his value. You see how he did that? That was smooth. That was smooth.
Like
Continue, Jarv, continue.
Yeah. Got this
You
other
got to think
time
outside
zone
the box with these things, right? So I remember sending that DM and then going on my night shift, like we spoke about before the show, coming home,
Vampire
and then Moon
Bros.
DM'd me in the morning and was like, do you want to call? So I was like, yeah, cool. It was like 7 a.m. UK time. I was like, So I'm on this voice call and stuff. We have a conversation for half hour, 45 minutes or so, and next thing I know, I've got like a Thursday slot week in, week out on for Planet Destiny, which just seemed insane at the time, because it was just like they were part of something that I'd been watching as a player of the game for years. So to suddenly find myself on their roster, and when they tweeted out and my Twitter was blowing up, I was like, what have I got myself into? My Twitter's exploding. But it's that sort of set me on that path, I guess.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's where I got into content creation initially, but I was obviously on Twitch at the time. So now there's the transition to where I am now, right? So, and this goes back to my clan mates, because obviously a lot of my game time was with them. I was streaming, it was grading with them. But a lot of the time, if you're not live on Twitch, you're not growing. It's very hard to grow on Twitch if you're not live, right? So I'm working a 4-on 4-off night shift with wife, family, and everything. It's very hard to keep a consistent schedule. I'm live every Monday. I can't be if I've got kids to get to bed or I'm at work and stuff like that. So
absolutely,
having that consistent schedule was almost an impossibility as a streamer. So I had a conversation with one of my close friends, Liam, in the clan, and it's like, look, give YouTube a try again, dude. You weren't bad at it. You just need to find you, and what do you go on YouTube for? If you're going on there, there's a gap there. Try and plug that gap. YouTube's the second biggest search engine outside Google, which is owned by Google. So as a new content creator, anything that gets yourself into search traffic is a good way to start. What are people searching for? What's going to make my video appear? Because they're not going to search necessarily for like a ride along for, unless you're an established content creator and stuff like that.
Correct.
But if you're putting yourself in search results, then you give yourself a bit of a different approach on things. So that's where I sort of angled myself. That's why I've got mostly guides, hints and tips, and things that value people's time. As a dad myself, I don't get a lot of time. As a content creator, I get even less time to play the game. So anything that means that I can jump into in-game content and maximize my playtime is a benefit to me as a gamer and as a dad. And I like to think that also emits to other players in the community as well. And with the success we're seeing, it's quite clear there's a need for that type of content.
Absolutely. Yeah, I wanted to ask you one more before I pass to Eat. Was one thing about your content is really cool. Like I say, it's very concise, very informative, especially the way you do your guides and everything. I love what you said in reference to, your schedule, knowing that you don't have a lot of time. Like, I love that. A lot of your stuff is just like, you go right in, you know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of filler. You're getting into the business. So that part about it is cool. And as far as like, doing like walkthroughs, the commentary and stuff like that, did you make a conscious decision to say, okay, I just want to just stick to this type of content as opposed to, I don't know, lore or other different things? Was it kind of like just helping people out with the guides, reviews, things of that nature?
Yeah, pretty much. I think when I was with my clan and doing a lot of raids and streaming, I was the one doing the explaining a lot of the time. So when you can clearly explain how to do something and why you need to do something, not just stand there and shoot stuff. You know what I mean?
Big deal.
I'm not one of those guys that was just like, I'm not one of those guys that would just tell you to stand there and shoot something. You need to be involved and understand it. So next time you come here, you can, be a bit more free in your play. So if you can, I felt I was quite good at explaining stuff. I mean, we finished raids, so I must have been doing something right. But it's, I sort of took that and I was like, okay, let's try and see if I can adapt that into other things, other things players would be looking for. And that's where we go with like the power level videos, I guess, the farms and all that we've seen this season have been popping off massively because, you know, people want to get into the end game content. We spoke about it a lot before the show. You know, the dungeon's a perfect example of that. And it's going away. It's the biggest FOMO they've added to the game. You know what I mean? So people that is FOMO to the max. You know, people want to get on that, and the power level is the only thing stopping them doing that. And that's why the AFK farm became such a thing, because people want to get in there. They want to. It's the only end game content that has farmable armor that can take you up to the end of year 4. So, you know, anything that allows players to get that a bit easier and access that easier is gonna do well, and that's what's happened more recently, I guess.
Awesome, man. What you got for me? Because I go all day.
No, like, I mean, you're hitting a lot of the questions, so it's just kind of sitting here letting him talk. But yeah, it's just like, it's interesting to go through some of the things that you do, and you'll run the guide real quick. And I was gonna ask you, just as like a content creator for you, is like the appreciation of like when you did YouTube and then you did Twitch and then you kind of came back to YouTube and stuff. So do you have like a routine? Are you like a script guy? Are you off the cuff? Are you like, I mean, how much is in the editing trash can and stuff like that for you? Just like any little nuggets of fun that you've had during like making videos that you can share with some of the up and coming ones out there to let them know what it's like.
I do a lot of, I'm a very visual person. I try to visualize a lot what I try and create in my mind. Like if I was sitting here watching this video, is this engaging to me? And it's also understanding that not everyone is actually watching your video with their eyes. So if they had that on, is it still hitting the notes? You know, so whether it's an audio piece or a visual piece, you need to be hitting those two things. And if you hit both of those, then you're going to see better engagement on your videos generally anyway. So yeah, I'm a very visual person, so I will map it out on the timeline exactly how I would want that information to be presented to me, like why you want to do something, what it does, and the best way to do it. Seems like these sort of like the what, where, and why questions are pretty common. But if you can structure them out in that sort of way where you're putting yourselves in the player's shoes, then that helps you resonate with them as well, because we are players. We are all one and the same. I'm just making the video for you to make it easier. So those are a couple of the things that I sort of put in my mindset, I guess, when I'm trying to create a video. Some stuff is scripted together. Some of it is off the cuff. Normally, if it's like in the timeline and I've structured it out visually, which is normally what I do in the day when I've got kids running around the house, I can't do commentary and stuff, which is normal. My time, I tell you what, dude, if I wasn't in the UK, I'd be screwed, because the time zone saves me so much. When the daily reset's at 6 p.m. and my kids are having dinner and they have bath and bed almost straight away afterwards and stuff, it's a saving grace for me getting a video out at 8 p.m. UK time, which is really good for you guys over in the States, right? So
absolutely.
So it's a saving grace being in the UK, really, although it has its disadvantages. I'm sure there's some people that will say that. But
I was like, you've been around since Destiny 1, when the reset for me was like 3 or 4 in the morning, which you would have been like lunch. So I mean, that was also
I think
different,
it was like 10 or 11 a.m. I think.
Late
which
breakfast.
was good when I didn't have any responsibilities and I could just wake up and play games all day.
Yeah, the good old days.
But when you have responsibilities and stuff outside of content creation, it's and if it wasn't for my other half, my wife, I wouldn't be able to do this right now. So she takes a lot of the heavy lifting in the house and will support me for doing that.
Nice.
And without that, I wouldn't have the freedom to do it. So it's not a one-man army. There's a team that makes it happen.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, shout out to the other halves of the world out there who support and deal with to the grown men playing video games and screaming into microphones and editing, staring at computer screens for hours on end. When we're home, they'll be like, "Hey, I want to hang out with you," and be like, "I'm stuck in here for like a good 6 hours. I'll see you later."
Yeah, no, that's real.
Like 24-hour crazy. Like, yeah, I mean, season launches, expansions. I mean, may as well just shut down like social life and stuff for a week. Sometimes it's a different type of thing.
Yeah, she knows what that means, and she gets notifications when I post a video. She's like, "Can we have dinner now? Can we hang out for a bit?" So give me half an hour. Let me go through some comments, and then we'll spend some time.
That is awesome. It takes a special person. I give you guys that takes a special person to deal with that. Especially, we know how crazy Destiny gets. Especially come new expansion time, that prep period right before, all the hype, all the craziness. I know you guys want to get the content out. as quickly as possible, as concise as possible. But one thing that I want to commend both you and E that you guys do is you guys speak very well to the new Destiny player or a player who's just not as familiar. You don't assume or talk down like they're supposed to know everything, and you guys break things down in a very cool way. So I always appreciate content like that because, like you said, like I was always that guy myself. Like looking and trying to get something as far as efficiency. What's the best efficient way to do something or things of that nature. I think I watched one of your guys on 600 auto rifles, which I really appreciated. How you broke all of them down. You had McGalliard in there. You had someone in there. You know what I'm saying? And then you kind of, you did it in a cool way where you showed the advantages. You show where, you can get stuff from. And I just love the minutia and the way you do things. And also, again, in a way that's easy and accessible so that anybody can get in. Yeah.
And I'm sure E will probably agree. That's a conscious thing. And I see a lot of comments. Occasionally, I see a lot of comments. Occasionally, there'll be the odd comments like, you speak like, we're dumb and we haven't played the game. It's like, okay, but you probably are like me and you played this game for nearly a decade. But if you look at the uptick on like new light videos since April when everything went into lockdown, like there's probably upwards of 100% more new light players than there were at the beginning of the year. There's more people at home playing Destiny, so you can't really make that assumption. And that's a conscious thing for me when I'm putting my content out, is that not in layman's terms, but it needs to try and be accessible to more players.
Yeah. That's the key, because again, last point I'll say on this, and this kind of translates into, I think, just gaming as a whole. Like, sometimes us as the hardcore forget that we really the minority. There's more people that don't know about the stuff than the people that actually know about it. So it's always cool that you're thinking that way. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives people an avenue. That's really cool, man. You were saying, E? I got you. You were about to say something.
It's like I'm just waiting my turn over here.
My bad.
No, but it's like same thing. It's like I made, and it's like, and I was like, Jarv and I are, it's like somewhat similar on this. It's like you take the person, it's like you take any guide that you do, and I've gone through, whether it be stupid, solo Nightfall videos or even just the one I did for like leveling. I was going through and like leveling a little bit, and I had my brother in my Discord channel, and he doesn't get to play as much, so he just doesn't get to like watch all, he doesn't follow on Twitter, he doesn't always read like, on everything on the same day. So it's like, if I'm going through stuff, like plucking his brain sometimes just as more of someone who's like, hey, let me like just lay everything down, break all the pieces down, what's the order? And some people are saying, hey, what's the best way? My leveling guide is probably way too long of a video, but there's a lot of stuff if you picture and go for somebody who's like literally just logging in at 750 to go all the way to try and get to 1060 and just to try and break it down, explain why and what's going on and stuff like that. So there's so many different pieces to this game, and people log in and they're like, new light is overwhelmingly
overwhelming,
so much stuff to do, and especially when somebody comes into
I started a new stream account just to experience it, and I just feel sorry for new light players, and I'm glad that Bungie are re-looking at that whole experience and how that feels for a new player going into Beyond Light, with more of the Cosmodrome seemingly being available, it seems, for them, based on what Luke was saying. Because you go to the tower and it's just like, speak to everyone. And there's so many NPCs, man.
It's so, oh my gosh.
So true. So true.
Yeah, it's there. So it's overwhelming for sure.
What else we got going on, E, in the world?
Well, first thing we definitely got to touch on is GCX. Their streams are going on right now. And Guardian Con, we'll probably episode number 108 where we tell you guys where we met.
Yeah.
No, but it's like, that's where we met. We've been like, obviously not going this year, but next year is going to be the craziest GCX ever, because everybody's so pent up to go out this year. Next year, hopefully, is going to be crazy good. But yeah, they're doing their charity stream right now. And yesterday was Bungie's block, and they absolutely crushed it. So for those of you guys that got to watch it, last year when they did their GCX stream, they, I think, barely squeaked into 400K or 380, and that was huge. Like, they were absolutely doing awesome. Yesterday, they had, I think I'd have to look in my Discord to see, I think they had $150,000 raised in like 15 minutes, which was absolutely insane. They ended up with over 800,000 for the entire 4-hour block that they had. They blew away their stretch goal of like 500K. They made up a couple other goals as they were going through. All the community managers are getting tattoos now. It was a lot of fun. So I wanted to see if you guys had a chance to catch it, see highlights, or just hear anything about that. Because I got to catch a decent amount of it, and then I had to break for the last bit. But it was cool to watch.
Jarv, you caught any of it?
I caught the whole thing. Yeah, I was.
Nice.
I was editing stuff. I was getting stuff on the timeline. Typical me. But I had it on for sure. And I'll tell you what, some of the talent in that studio. It was just a great opportunity to see that. I think we spoke a bit before about some of the, Bungie have this social face, and we know a lot of people very well. But we only really scratch the surface when it comes to the talent that's in the studio. So to have the opportunity to see some of the artists actually come on and, present art in different ways live was just incredible, just to see some of the talent they had. And some of the lore readings, the feels, dude, gave me goosebumps, man.
Oh, when Morla reads the lore, oh my God.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, phenomenal. So, yeah, those for me were standout things, obviously.
Shout out to Deej for reading the lore in Bice voice. Did you catch that?
I missed
was hilarious.
That one. I missed that one.
Oh my God. Yo, he did it. Not to cut you, Jarv. He did it so hilariously accurate that I know Bife had to laugh. Like, you have to laugh. Anybody saw this. It's complete Bife inflections, the whole bit. Deej is amazing. I just shout him out, man. Shout out to Deej. He should be doing impressions and stuff. But continue, Joe. When we talk about the artists, you were talking about everything you were seeing and how how expansive that team is.
Yeah, just to see get to see their faces, like saying Lorraine being the creator of the Halo logo, and putting a face to that, which is such an iconic logo for so many people over multiple decades. Just to see the face of the person that was responsible for that was pretty crazy. But yeah, just some of the other reveals, like the weapons, just get an idea of sort of the general look and feel for some of the legendary weapons coming in Beyond Light, Hawkmoon as well, which we'll probably move on to in a little bit.
Yep, we'll cover that.
So yeah, it was really good. But they smashed it, man. They doubled their 400,000 from the year before. And I think that there's anything you can count on is the community that surrounds Destiny just to come together for such a great cause. And it's disappointing that we can't meet up next week for GCX.
You're killing me right now, John. There's so many people we're supposed to meet.
We're just everybody's getting an extra drink next year because we're missing this year. So everybody gets two drinks instead of one.
It really...
We'll go big next year, man. It's going to be huge.
Oh, yeah, we're going big. It really hit me because I was just like, I was thinking to myself last week or whatever it was, I would have been coming back from E3, and then I would have been prepping now, quick turnaround, fly out to GCX, and I was because now it's like name to the face, right? And then all these people and all, we interact with so much, and, they're all going to be there. But like you said, Jarv, you said it best, like, it just means next year we're going to go super hard. It's going to be that much bigger, and I can't wait, man. I can't wait. You got to come across the pond, come through, man.
Oh, I know.
It's gonna be.
We'll go to
fun.
Charlie's. We'll get a steak.
You already
have
know.
a couple of drinks.
Yes,
it's gonna be cool, man. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it, brother. Likewise, man.
Yeah. So I mean, that was they've had some awesome ones so far. Another one to shout out: Lupo last year, of course. Like Dr. Lupo. If you guys got a chance when you go to GCX, when they do the whole ticket sales again, just make sure I can get one of these tickets as well. Buy the full VIP thing with the night event.
Yes.
Because it is worth going to if you enjoy laughing and having sore abs the next day, because it was hilarious. Yes. Obviously, can't say anything about it. That's the whole point. Yes. But
we're under strict NDA.
Every penny. Yeah, strict
Definitely
NDA.
Worth it.
But like when it comes to like Lupo's has been part of this for a while, and last year he absolutely crushed. Like he almost hit 1 million last year. And to see what Bungie did this time, I'm just like, his is going to be Sunday from, I want to say it's like 8 to noon. He's the last block that Sunday morning. And he went 30 minutes over last time. I'm honestly curious to see how much he does this time. But to watch, like, even any of the community managers or Deej, or you'll see Dylan in there, just like, I mean, people give him a hard time sometimes for, like, snappy reactions on Twitter, anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's just to see all of those guys, every single one of them just blown away at what the community comes together and does. And they're just like, the numbers that we're putting up during their stream are absolutely crazy. And insane. I actually, for you, Jarv, as well, during that stream, I was taking a screenshot of one of the two weapons. It's either Hawkmoon or the Unknown Legendary. And when I took that screenshot, your donation was the one that literally is up in the corner of my screenshot. It says Jarvenis. So I was like, well, that's amazing timing. So I have proof. I have proof you donated to the cause. It was like the perfect pop-up.
A man of conviction. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's important to do, like, my oldest son was under Great Ormond Street Hospital here in the UK for quite a long time. When he was born with a cleft palate, so he had like a hole in the top of his mouth. Yep. He didn't have the lip or anything, but he had the palate. So he, when he was 9 months old, he had to have an operation, plastic surgery in his mouth to bring that together. So, you know, to anything that can support, you know, the care and support of young children. I've seen some of it, you know, here in the UK, being in, you know, Great Ormond Street do some fantastic work. And, you know, St. Jude, again, another global hospital that does incredible work for kids that absolutely shouldn't find themselves in the positions they do. So anything, you know, it's a number, you know, monetary value. It's the benefit it can have, though, and what that means for them is so much more to me than that monetary value.
Absolutely, brother. You said it well. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing about the community, and every year they just knock it out the park. We come together and it's all for this great cause. And it's tremendous. That's probably one of the most proudest things I am about being a Destiny fan and being part of this community, because I maybe I'm biased. I just don't see another community is as invested and doing all these great things as, you know, what Bungie and everyone else, you know, in this part, as part of, as a content creator, whoever, just coming together all for a great cause. I've never seen anything like that. And that's what makes me, that's another reason why, besides the game being good, you know what I'm saying, that makes us stick around, you know, is these relationships, these moments, you know, you never forget these things. It's pretty amazing.
It's just going back to even like the Nepal, you know.
Yeah, I almost put that shirt on this morning. Almost did that.
Oh yeah, that was
I've got that shirt. Get shirt and the emblem, but you know, those are small things that have, you know, and you know, small little tokens, I guess, for, you know, what's going to have a major benefit to others around the world. And we've proven it multiple times. You know, Guardians together as one will do incredible things.
Absolutely. I mean, all the causes. I mean, obviously, we've seen the Black Lives Matter thing. You know, LGBTQ community. I got my pen. Came in the mail.
Hey, there you go.
There you go.
I got that one.
I got one of those.
In stock. Yeah, I got to get the new one when it's in stock. I got the old one. I got to get the new one now. That's got the couple extra bars on it.
Yeah. On my Cyrus hat cave.
It's one of my favorite emblems in the game, actually. That Pride emblem.
Yeah. Yes, very cool. I use that's for my, because, you know, as a warlock, I got to match, you know, subclasses to the emblem and everything. So, you know, that's for my void. That's my void lock. He got that one because he got the purple joint, you know, whatever. So yeah, every subclass I have to have a specific, you know, ship, sparrow, and emblem. It's all warlocks. You got to coordinate, brother. You got to coordinate, man.
Coordinate. You're flexing. You're flexing on us.
I got to flex on him, right?
I was gonna say, speaking of merch, by the way, I got this one.
What you got? Oh, that's fire. That's the what you call it, joint? That's the homie. That's the Shaqs.
That's the Shaqs like artist series one that they did. I got that one literally yesterday.
I gotta get that.
I tell you what, I am still waiting for. I'm still waiting for that ghost.
Oh yeah.
You know, I've had about 2 emails in the last year saying it's coming, but I haven't got it. I've got it in game. It's the one that's got like hearts. It looks like a Pandora charm in game, but I think you actually get the ghost in like as a replica as well. I'm still waiting on that, but you know, it'll come, I guess.
No doubt, it'll come.
Stealthy in there. It's like everything is red or black or both, but yeah, no, it's like
that's his color scheme. Yeah,
I believe that I'm thinking Black Army was like favorite content ever for Stealthy. So shout out to that color scheme. Had to be. There's no question. That had to be. You just like, I live in Scourge now. That's where I'm at. Just here.
Just getting that stuff, man.
I'm digging. What am I digging? Rivalry Black Sand, I think, is my shader. I used Valkyrie. What's it? Valkyrie something from last season. The one for maximizing your bunkers. That's pretty cool as well.
I like. We talking shader game. I like this. Let's get to it. We never asked anybody like shade a game, like favorites. We
My
never did
fashion
that
game
before.
is trash, so please do something better than I do. My fashion game is ultra trash.
Come on, you gotta have some shaders. You got a little style.
I'm sure I do. I'm sure I
outfits.
do, but
Mhm.
I can't remember names off the top of my head right now, at least. But
Yeah, there's a couple of ones, man. I think for me, what is it? House of Marine.
no, I'm sure. Yeah, I know you like
that one. That's one of mine. There's a light blue one, man. That's so clean. That's for my for when I'm going Arc, when I'm doing my Dragon Ball Z.
You can wear that on your rope and you'll be camo.
Yeah.
Good to go.
Camo, yeah, I do that. Couple of Callus shaders.
White.
You know,
Is it Astropheric Glow? Astropheric Glow, that's like a black and green one. That's pretty cool.
That was nice.
I think Eververse had that for a short while. That's quite rare.
Yeah, man. It's some real cool ones I like, man. So yeah, Void got that. Reef made. Oh, Melchizedek something. Brand was a purple
I know
and black
what you're
joint.
talking about.
That joint, that hits. Yeah. Nothing that says monochromatic. Okay, y'all like that pure white. Yeah, I like that joint too. And the new Monarchy shaded, I don't have it anymore because when I switched to PC, because that was from the old Xbox account. That those shaders were really cool, man. Anything like red gold, that's for my solo.
Yeah, no, I know.
Solo
That's why
line.
you're New Monarchy. Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
I got you.
Me.
I know.
You got me.
I was
You know
gonna
what I'm
say. So one, I pulled up Dim right now to look.
Mm-hmm.
One of the ones that I like, because I like dark green. Of course, I'm gonna lean towards Gambit, but I think it's Gambit Celadon or Gambit Emerald.
yeah.
Both of those.
Yes.
If I can get a good dark green with like some decent like accent, like kind of lighter green lines on it. It's kind of one that I definitely have. If I'm gonna spec one out, I've done a couple of those for sure. Because dark green is like my jam. So
yes,
It is Destiny after all, man. If your fashion game's not up to scratch,
we
then,
got ornaments now. We got
Talk.
transmog coming in the fall. Like,
Transmog is gonna be so good.
can't wait for that. I will be curious to see on how they handle silver purchase versus what you got to do in game, because it's not often they have both of those quite the same. So.
True.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Shout out to Super Dave. Yeah, the new Monarchy ones you stay there. Yeah, those ones hit hard, man. I definitely miss those for sure.
You just got to make sure you don't stand out like you're wearing chartreuse down a dark hallway. You gotta have some thought about like PvP colors. Raiding, you can look as goofy as you want. In PvP, don't be bright yellow. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, don't be bright yellow. Okay, the blue one is called Fruminous Blue Shaded. That one
I probably like straight up delete.
What?
That's my legendary shard farm. That one.
What? That hits, man. You throw that blue with that little silver to it. Ooh, you got your arc subclass is right with that, man. You got to throw that on right there. That's my joint.
See, I go for looks. I don't matter. I'm not as deep as like subclasses matching my purse and my shoes with my socks and tie and my accessories. Yeah, I'm not that far. I gotta step my game up apparently. So
gotta step it up, and the guns too.
And the gun. Okay, yeah. What's your accessories?
Anyway.
Your gun. Your accessories. Well, you're a warlock. You got your own accessory. You got your little armband, so you're good.
Yeah, salute, especially that. But we got our Destiny segment out the way. So what's been going on, man? What's been going on in the game?
Well, Season of Arrivals is kicking. The Contact public event moved one spot, still on the same planet. So, kind of the first question to you guys as you're going through that one: have you seen the mission for the week, and how long do you think we're going to be hanging out on IO? So, two questions.
Let's get out to Jarv.
Yes, I've done the mission. I've done it twice. I thought I'd go back in there and try and get out of bounds, actually. But yeah, I have done the mission. I'm loving those missions. I think
yes.
It's tapping back into what like Queen's Court did, but also the 6 missions for Eris and Shadowkeep. Having that small reason to come back every reset and learn something new. I think that's really cool and just helps continue the narrative through the season. I really do like that.
Reach.
They're starting to tell those stories as the season goes by. And the missions, they're not, they're fun to do solo. Like they're actually quite challenging.
Yes.
Even, they're not easy. It's not just about running through it. You can't. So it's, they're quite good. So I'm interested to see where they go and how many there are, because you get a piece of lore every week for doing it. And there's like 13 or 14 pieces of lore in that book. So whether there's only going to be a handful or whether there's going to be as many as that, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I think they're great. And to actually go to the the cradle that we've seen from a distance for so long is really cool too.
Absolutely. Yeah, Jarv, you're on fire, man. I mean, you literally said exactly what I was thinking. I mean, I'm really digging the season structure so far. I know it's early. I know, we're not that far in, but it's just what you said. To me, there's something to be said as opposed to just, doing a public event 1,000 times and then going to, some, location where you kind of input stuff, similar to how like the bunkers were. I think what's missing is that story beat, that connective. And what I like what they're doing is they're giving us that mission. Almost Season of the Drifter attempted something like this with Desert Thing, but I think this is just better, just done, executed better. And I loved going in, and you also nailed it. Like, I've been soloing, the few times I haven't got a chance a lot to play this season, but the times I've had, it's always been solo. And I've been soloing a lot of stuff, having a ball with it, man. I got my little Wither Horde. I got my, what I'm rocking in the energy. I got my Gnawing Hunger, and I think I'm going with one of them swords. But I'm just really enjoying, it's quite challenging, like you said, Jarv. It's a sense of accomplishment when you do it. And then you get that narrative piece about what's going on and stuff like that. And I'm loving the umbral focusing. I'm really liking that as, really kind of digging down into getting into what specifically you want. So I think they kind of took a little piece of what was good from the Menagerie and put that into the whole recasted thing. I've been liking it, man. I've been really liking it so far. And the new thing that I've been doing is now that sunsetting is a thing, I've been.
You're welcome. That was totally my doing. It was just me. Had a call with Luke. I was like, hey, this should probably happen. He did it. Done.
That was an inside dig at EG, John.
I was like, it's been a minute, but it was like the week before the sunsetting news idea dropped. It was the Friday before that, like Tuesday or Wednesday, he did the director's cut. I literally mentioned it should happen. We had this huge, like, knockdown, drag out fight and everything.
It was epic.
And then it was like 4 days later, I was just like, you might want to read this.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's happening. Because I always feel like Bungie listens to Ebontis. Like, whatever he suggests is best for the game.
Really not true, by the way.
All of a sudden, Jarv, the next TWAB, it'll be stuff he suggested. And I'm like, oh. So anyway, long story short, at least my exotics were saved. So I'm over it. But at the end of the day, it's been interesting for me to go through my vault, look at, the power levels of certain things, get some reissues. Shout out to the Gnawing Hunger I re-got with a nice roll.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about that because we're already seeing some of the reissues coming back where it's like I have a Gnawing Hunger that I have previously, and the one that I have that's older is amazing. Like the one that I have already, if I'm going to go through and look because I want to know.
Just while you're looking, on that note, I think a key thing, especially with the Gnawing Hunger, because this is a great example because it's everywhere at the moment.
Yes.
But the created role is really good for PvE, but you can't get that from the Umbral Engram.
What's the created role? If I don't know.
Like Overflow Rampage. You can, so I've got that on one of the other seasonal auto rifles, but I don't think you can get it from the Umbral Engram. So for me personally, like if I wanted a PvE role, I'll probably go for Overflow Rampage personally because I just overflow my magazine, and just mow it down. But but yeah, for PvP, you can just keep going until you get that kill clip roll, I guess. But
Now, for me, I've been rocking the I've been a huge fan of the subsistence rampage roll right now. I've just been loving subsistence. Just that I feel like I'm just keep on shooting, keep on killing, keep on shooting. Don't have to let go of the button. Shout out to Cactus, man. He definitely put me on to the importance of it. Yeah, shout out to Gashi. He's got one with subsistence. I love it, man. Gnawing Hunger is definitely interesting. But your question as far as like how we feeling
just
about
like
the
reissues for a couple, like there's one or two that I'm like that I sit there and see, and I think that's one of the bigger I think the sunsetting is going to allow them to have life of like put breath into like some of their newer stuff, which is good. But when it's like these reissues and you're just sitting there staring at an old one, and that's the big argument I saw about the reissues, and I'm sitting here staring at them already this season. Like I've had one, and I was like, just like, just kind of curious your guys' thoughts on that stuff. Like, do you feel that's just how the game rolls, or like, I mean,
let's get this to Jarv because I could go. Go ahead, Jarv. What do you think?
Go first, and then we'll open up.
I think if they're going to reissue it, they need to incorporate more newer perks to go alongside those, because there's no point just farming exactly the same role that you got a year ago just because you can now level that up to the end of season 4 or year 4, because it made your original grind completely pointless for you to then have to go and do it again. But
so could you say that sentence again? I just like how your inflection with that was just really good. Could you repeat that the whole sentence you just said?
Can't even remember what I said. I'm just winging it. So
you nailed it. That's all he's getting at. You nailed it.
Yeah,
fire.
So like if I've got a rapid hit, multi-kill clip, spare rations comes back in that rotation with those same perks available. Why? What's the point of having to chase down the same weapon again? I mean, I know power level is obviously a thing, but I'd much rather it come back with newer perks that are better. Give me a reason to go after it again, not just replace a weapon that I've already got. That's probably what I'm trying to get at.
No, I agree. I was just teasing. That was one of my arguments against in the beginning, was just respecting player investment. And as far as the whole, especially, I think you nailed it. Look, I'm over the whole legendary thing. I'm just being silly. But the whole thing, as far as what you made a great point, as far as if they're going to do that, then at least, like you said, add more perks to that perk pool so that you have a chance to get that knowing hunger, in a way that you've never had it before. But to grind for the exact same thing just to bring it forward again, without any changes, it's a hard pill to swallow. So for me, that's a thing that I have to watch. And to be honest, I'm very surprised, to E's point, that they brought it back. They're starting to do this so quickly.
Yeah, because it's not even tapping into that nostalgia thing of, gnawing hunger again. Like it's been, I had one from like 2 years ago. It's not even there yet because it's literally, it's probably a year since the Scenes and the Drifter, but it's quite clearly not long enough, right? Because only 600 RPMs only really became meta, I guess, probably since just after Shadowkeep. Yeah, so Season of Dawn. So yeah, I agree, man. I think too soon, and if you are going to do it, have more unique, newer perks in the pool and give us a reason to go after it again.
Well, and then did you guys also see the raid gear is going to season 14?
Yeah.
Yes. I'm happy for that, man.
Do you think that's long enough? Do you think that's long enough for what they promised? Or is because you got, what is next year's 12, 13, 14, it's 15. So 14 it'll go away, 15, and then we'll get whatever the next transition is. That will be probably the absolute oldest stuff at that point. All of it will be gone. Going into 2021, nothing holds.
So when you get to the Witch Queen, that's it.
Yeah, Witch Queen is
you won't be able to take it.
Yeah,
like literally going to be beyond light forward. That's it.
Yeah. September is going to be cut off zones. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Did you think that was going to be longer? I guess was the question, because you had Last Wish, you had. I'm blanking right now.
What, Garden of Salvation?
Garden of Salvation. Yeah, I'm like, thank you. Last Wish and Garden of Salvation, and you had Last Wish, which was fairly old, still carrying forward, and you're like, okay, so if this thing's going to last, like, our raid's going to last like 2 or 3 years, and it doesn't feel like it, does it? Like, going, whatever we get and say the Deepstone Crypt raid, Deepstone Crypt raid, not going into Savathun's raid. Seems like. The raids don't, I think they're just starting to chop the legs off of everything now. Just waiting for those yellow weapons to get the legs chopped underneath them.
Easy. We're not doing that.
Sorry. I didn't mean to say it out loud. I should only think those things. I can't say them out loud.
The Bungie listens. Bungie, stop listening. Continue. What you were saying, Jarv?
I think, because they're bringing back the like Leviathan armor and stuff like that. Like, but that's also going away. With Beyond Light, so some of the Leviathan armor, Scourge armor, is probably going to be some of the rarest armor come the end of year 4 that's still relevant, I guess, in power. So if you want to, I know it's not the most fanciest looking armor set in the world, but if you wanted something unique at least towards the end of year 4, then it's not a bad shout to do, and rerun those activities before they go away and get vaulted, which we'll probably come on to at some point as well. But it's I think it's good to have them. I think Leviathan's basically a destination in itself, right? So, with that, they take 2 raid layers with them as well, but it also removes all the Vicarious Visions and High Moon content from the game. Mercury's going, Mars is going, Leviathan's
Good point.
going. So all that
Goodbye,
sort of third-party
Activision
development,
Vault.
yeah, is gone. All that Activision stuff's gone. So it's just a Bungie game again.
Are we implying this was a conscious decision, Jarv? Are we implying a clean break of the Force?
It might have been a contractual decision.
That is actually interesting.
We don't know.
It would have been like contract be like, all right, you want to do this? Hold on.
We're gonna cut you out my game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
yeah, man.
it's just like it is interesting right now to watch some of these decisions. Like you look at your weapons, you kind of do the math. But it is also like we log into season 11, where like power level jump in the fall is 200 points. So we know that going in. So when they do something like, hey, you can see a year in advance. As soon as we get to like season 13, we're gonna know. I mean, unless it's just 50-50. 50, 250. Like if they've confirmed that's what the power level is, they've made it to that, and that kind of ties into what has gone on in the past week. We talked about it a little bit before, the patch that just happened, the hot fix over the umbrals and leveling, and that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about next with just with regards to the way the game has been thus far, kind of the way the seasons have been rolling. We had the 10 points in Undying or Dawn, 10 points in Dawn, which was like then we had 50, we got 50, now we're going 200, which everybody kind of expects with an expansion. But the whole leveling per season thing, which seems to have come directly to a head due to the day one dungeon at 1060 situation. Wanted to get you guys' thoughts on just like the power level grind where we're at, if there's changes you'd like to see to it, and then just kind of if there's, any pain points for, the casual versus the hardcore. It's a lot, so just opening this up.
Let's get the expert in.
Should I go first? All
right. Guest gets honors always.
Okay, I'll say it's got to come down to accessibility. So locking content behind a exponential power grind is going to alienate some part of your player base, because that's why AFK farming has become so popular, because we spoke about it. The dungeon's the biggest piece of FOMO they've added because it's going away at the end of the season, but it's also the only place you can farm high stat armor, which is what you're going to need going into Beyond Light. So you've got a limited time window to do that. So that's why that sort of popped off, I guess, in the way that it did. But then to address that is being able to go, okay, well, Nightfalls have multiple difficulties, multiple, buffs and debuffs and things like that. And as a result, they have various different rewards on scale based on their difficulty. So you can still have those activities accessible at a lower power, but you just have the rewards relevant to the difficulty of the activity.
Correct.
So you're not locking accessibility, you're locking, player rewards behind the harder content, which is what you'd want. If people that play the game more, are able to get higher level and complete harder activities, should get, I guess, the more rewards for doing that. But then you should also allow players who aren't able to grind up as much or don't have the time investment to still access those, albeit get lesser rewards. They can still have that experience. But if they, but they still need to put the time into it if they want the end game loot, I guess. That's how I would look at it as a possible alternative.
Jarv on fire, man. It's literally stealing my points. Yeah, like, dude, I'm with you, man. I think that's a great way. Because, like you said, one of the worst things is a newer player, or not even a new player. Let's just say, like this season for me, just life has gotten in the way. I got a lot going on, with the podcast and stuff. So I just haven't had my typical blaze sessions of nonstop Destiny all day, when I want, how I want. So I've been lagging behind a bit. Like I'm like 10:30 something, and I unfortunately missed out on the farming. But whatever. But
I didn't really do it either, so it's fine.
Yeah, but it is what it is. So anyway, but to your point, there's something to be said. Like, okay, I'm looking at the dungeon. I'm like, man, because of the way life has fallen, I just can't really participate until I get my light up. So what you're saying really makes sense. It's like, just like you do in the Nightfall ordeal, there's that 750, that first, and there's a different levels of reward. Who actually did it well? I'm going to say Reckoning. Remember when Reckoning, the tiers? I believe each tier had like a different length of time, before you. I think tier 3 was the one that I think did the complete bridge into the boss or whatever. But like, if there's a way, I don't know if that's possible with every bit of content, but if there's a way you can segment it, great. If not, then just continue to do what Jarv said, which is like power level and reward equality based on the level, you know, that you pick. So obviously the hardcore guys that are at the higher light, they get a chance at the higher rewards and stuff like that. And I think that could help them, you know what I'm saying, than having people isolated out of content. But yeah, I agree with that completely.
I think it's got to lean on difficulty, not just a arbitrary number, right? So if you can have like, you have raids with contests when they launch, why can't that be something we can just apply across the board, and that's applicable to the fire team, the average fire team power, whatever, you know? It creates difficult content regardless of your power level, but you can still chase good rewards. There's multiple things they could look at, but you know, I think contests for raids at least should just be an option by default. We want to do contests, you know. We want to cap our power, and you get bonus rewards for doing it, even if it's double loot from the chest at the end.
Preach.
It sounds like an easy thing, but you know, for me, I think that'd be pretty cool, and a lot of fire teams would dig that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's like the whole contest thing. I've heard way too many people talk about why that can't just be an option to be like normal contest and just gives you the power level. You know what it is, doesn't matter. And you could even go back and do like Last Wish on contest if you're crazy.
Right?
Yeah, you probably couldn't get the 24. Yeah, you couldn't get the 24-hour emblem. But maybe you could get a contest emblem that's just sitting out there later on if you go experience that content to be like, all right, how's this on day one? You're like, holy crap. And then just like, you really got to buckle down, got to do it first day strats, all that stuff. There's no melting of bosses. You got to do everything for real. Gonna be a different feel to it. And then to your guys' points as well, it's like when you take something like the dungeon is interesting though, and this is one of those things I actually heard discussed and I wanted to kind of say. On the other side of what you guys are saying, it's like, so I guess I want to ask before I go into mine, do you think the dungeon should be accessible to everybody on day one, no matter their level? Is that what you're kind of saying?
I think it's how it was sold. Like, you know, I think Luke sold it as, you know, there's a day's worth of work in there to get yourself ready for it. I don't know anyone that got to 1060 in a day.
In about 2 weeks of prep. There were a couple people who were like insanely high before that thing launched, but like the average person, that's not a day. The average person is weeks of normal play schedule and life, not like gazillion bounties on every character and hop it in with a 3-person fire team that can just wreck every like strike, nightfall, go through, do all these things. And like the average person, it's not. And I guess like part of it is the dungeon is still meant to be end game, which is why it's weird it launched on day one. Now the fact that it's going away could have been the reason it launched on day one. So that could have been part of the reason to push and be like, hey, it's out here. We're going to give as many people as long as they can. But again, dungeons are meant to be in-game. I don't want Pit of Heresy to be like, it's weird. I understand what you guys are saying for like the easier mode and the difficulty. And it's like, hey, if you do it on easy mode, and as you were saying, what if you just did Pit of Heresy and you only had the Necropolis?
Right.
Yeah, that would be like kind of a piece. Or the other side, you have a lower difficulty, and maybe when you do Pit of Heresy, there's less enemies, there's less ads coming at you in the Chamber of Suffering. They could do those types of things to like an easy and a hard, and those would be ways to do it, which honestly some of that stuff I missed from Destiny 1 when we had like normal and hard mode raids. Like Taken King still, like that's the epitome of they made it hard and they're like, okay, let's pull this out, and like this is the normal mode, and then we add in like the ultra, like the full built mechanics back in for hard, and you're like, oh
let's add some champions in there, you know, let's make it really difficult for harder difficulties and stuff like that. I think that's a good shout.
And then I guess like I was gonna say, and then the other pieces, but it's like what I want to see, and that's what Jarv said, is I want the rewards to go with that stuff, as opposed to like you go into Pit of Heresy and you're like, you finish the Pit of Heresy, you can do it solo flawless, doesn't matter how you do it, but you beat that thing, especially even when you did it. They still in a year have not fixed the fact that gear at the end drops masterwork to like mid 60s at best, and it's like I'm getting a 52 stat roll. The energy is nice, so I can use mods, but I'm like, that thing ought to be sitting at like 79 or something when I'm done, not 64. And I'm like losing my mind. So I just like as stats is one of those things that they seem to be, you know, that's part of the armor grind. If you're gonna do something like Pit of Heresy, you know, guarantee high stat rolls, and they're doing a little bit of that with the Umbral, but I think more of for the leveling progression, this is why I can ask you guys first. So I'm gonna go on my little spiel. Part of what we go through is like, hey, so if you do basic stuff, Vanguard Strikes. Now we get a Pinnacle right now, which is weird, but it helps you level, it's fine. But if you do Vanguard Strikes, maybe your armor that drops from there is like, I don't know, low 50s at best. Then you can go into Nightfall, and like as you go up in difficulty, it starts to show like the stat range that the armor can drop at. It's like normal, hero, legend, master, and like if you do a master Nightfall, you're seeing like, you know, average stats like 64 to 68. If you do legend, it's 60 to, and you can see like there's a reason to go after that because you're actually getting better benefits in there. And the one thing I wish they would do is like, hey, if I do a master Nightfall and some of these true end game pieces to say like take the dungeon. The people who want to do it on hard mode could say, hey, this piece of armor, I want them to just mess with the system and be like, yeah, this has 12 energy slots instead of 10. I want them to like give those difficulties depth. So that's the idea. Oh, sorry, I was reading something in chat.
Yeah,
when you break down Pit of Armor, you should have a chance of getting a golf ball. That wouldn't be bad.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent that to masterwork it. I mean, you spend 3 on an exotic and you never get it back. So.
Yep. So would you guys curious on that whole rambling spiel?
No, I hear where you're going. There's a lot of validity there. Obviously, you know, I think the point you're also making in reference to, I think there does have to be some leveling build up to, like, for example, your Shattered Throne example. You know, I do feel there has to be some leveling up to get to that easy mode version of what we are trying to aspire for.
It's still like an in-game piece.
Right. So there still have to be some, you know, obviously, you know, you got to respect player time. So I'm of the mindset, don't necessarily give it as soon as the game launches. I think in this case, we're in, like you said, we're in this unique situation where they're about to transition to a vault system, to all these new systems on the back end that's going to start in September. So probably in their mind, they're like, look, this content, we're going to have to break normal protocol where we would give this in the middle of the roadmap of the season. And now we have to give it earlier to maybe compensate for that system. So I think that this probably is an exception to the rule. But I'm with you. I don't have any problem with a little bit of grind with that, or like you said, like a subsection, you know, for that easy mode. And then, you know, you go higher and higher and stuff like that. That feels good. I think ultimately what you're saying, the main point what you're saying, and really resonating with me is definitely, you know, that end game content when you're doing tier 3 or whatever that dungeon, you know, that stuff, you need to be those stat rolls that needs to be high. Like those masterwork materials, they need to be showering you. Now we've seen them going in the right direction with trials and stuff like that. Now, you know, each win you get more and more. Like it's the same thing. You have to respect investment and rewards. It's okay to give this stuff out because the reality is there's not a lot of sources where they are giving it out. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm cool with all that.
Yeah, just Grandmaster was Grandmaster and Trials both. Like I mean, we have 2 pinnacle activities with rewards, and you're like, yeah, I know some people are going to go through for the Conqueror title, totally get that, you want the challenge, it's there, but for the average player to even consider, it's like, did I really want to go for it? I mean, I might go for Conqueror this season, mostly for the fact because I know sunsetting's happening in season 12, so I know I've got access to my entire arsenal, whatever's best at the time has a chance to help me get through it, but other than that, like, there's not a better item. There's nothing that in the heart of stuff that makes you better. And coming from too many games, like, hey, you do a division thing. This thing has a higher set of stats. You do a world raid. You're like, hey, this is a like ultra level gear. Whatever. It's when you do the hardest stuff, we should be getting higher. And that's something I hope they embrace in the fall. We just have no idea if it's coming.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely hope they do that. That would be really cool.
I think they looked at difficulties with dungeons because from the database, I think the Pit of Heresy had multiple difficulties, right? They just never put it into the game for whatever reason. But how that would transmit for loot, I have no idea. Yeah. I think it's a careful one though, isn't it? Because if you have multiple difficulties and I guess, have lower tier stats for easier difficulties and higher tier stats for harder difficulties, then the better players that can invest more time, I say better players, the ones that can invest more time and power level up to those harder difficulties will only get better, whereas ones that can't play the game as often won't get good stuff. So it has to come down to chance, which is obviously RNG based, I guess, but you have better chances of getting said stuff by doing harder stuff. Because otherwise you'll end up with 2 massive pools of players where, veteran players, hardcore players just get better and better, and then new players, casual players, fall along the wayside, and that's no fault of their own, but it's striking that balance. That's a balance that Bungie have got to try and strike, and it's not an easy one for sure.
It's not an easy one, and to your point, Jarv, that's why I always champion, like, when we talk about stuff like that with Trials specifically, when I talked about they had needed to bring that bounty back, because as a person who wasn't going to the lighthouse often, me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I looked forward in D1 that Trials bounty that I would get a shot at Doctrine of Passing or some higher level. There was a percentage, right? There was a chance. So every week that I played, I got a shot at least trying to attempt to get one of these higher level weapons that might only drop, more consistently, if I went to the lighthouse, which I wasn't. So I think that's where they can also mess and try to strike that balance so that you always want to give that new light player a little hope. You don't want to discourage them, right? Because if you just give them the worst rewards and the worst thing, then what's the sense of coming back? Because everybody else is outshining you. You're not going to be able to, really compete. So I definitely think there always has to be a little bit of RNG, and then you increase percentages as you go up, to really respect
There has
those
to always
guys.
be that chance, right?
Yes.
And it just gets, that chance just grows as you do it.
To a point, but I was like also on the other side.
Let's go.
Apparently I'm devil's advocate today. That's my job.
Let's go.
Adept weapons. You're going to put those in a flawless chest. That's not something the average person's going to be able to get.
No,
but then you're rewarding the other player.
That's not for them. You got to get to the land. This is the best of the best.
Okay, that's literally my point. Then if you're saying you literally just said you got to give them a chance to get that high level stuff,
I agree.
Then you turn around and say that's only for the high level people. So which one is it?
I hear your point, but here's the thing: they're still getting a chance at the weapon. They're not going to not get the weapon at all. The adept is just adding like an additional perk to the weapon,
wasn't it? Yeah. Which is not going to change.
I can't feel sorry for you for that person who is like, yo, I got the gun, but I also should get the adept version of it when this guy went to the lighthouse and you just doing a bounty every week. I'm sorry.
But if you don't say anything, it sounds like, okay, so everybody needs a chance to get everything. Maybe even if it's just like a 10% roll versus a 90% roll, they have a chance to get the same item. It's like, in my mind, you can get maybe a variation, but that person who does that elite level, does the flawless card, does the Master Nightfall, does the Pit of Heresy. If you solo flawless, if there was a chance to do a solo flawless Pit of Heresy every week, and you would be guaranteed some stupid, crazy good drop, know I'd be doing it.
Facts.
But again, you do it one time and it's like a checkbox, but after that it's kind of trash. But it's like, again, if you do those types of things, you need something that sets it apart from what the average player could go for, because the skill needs rewarded. And that's the key.
Yeah. It needs to look different and maybe feel different to use, but in terms of its output, the output needs to be consistent, I guess. Otherwise, then you just create those two pools of players again. Like you say, Snapshot doesn't really do much in terms of output from the weapon, but in terms of look and feel, the weapons look different and they felt different to use slightly because of that high stat on Snapshot. But you could tell if someone went flawless. I think that's probably as good a balance as you're going to get.
Yeah,
you need to respect people that are able to go to the lighthouse, but also allow people that aren't to get the weapons, albeit a different version.
Exactly. I mean, I think another point is, like I said, the aesthetic that has to happen, because that then shows the time investment. That shows, wow, how did you get, why does your gun look that way? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to mine.
Ornaments and transmog.
Ornaments, transmog. So that's the first step. Then the second step, which I don't feel breaks the game when we talk about the adept stuff, and we all, like, who else did a good job? When we did Sundial, and when you max to the Sundial, and you got that extra perk to choose, remember?
That was time, That
was more time, but I'm just saying.
But again, then you take on the other side, there was a hard difficulty and there was 0 point.
Yeah, well, we know they messed up with that.
I know, but that's where they could try and put something in there. Yeah,
exactly. That's where we're in agreement. So I'm just saying, I like that as an example of things you can do. So again, the weapon, whether it be Patron of the Lost Causes or Breach Light or whatever these weapons we were farming, right? The guy that really had the investment all season, he was going in, he gets a chance for that double perk pool. Whereas the guy who, didn't have as much time, he still could get the weapon though. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I just thought it's the whole idea of a participation trophy feel. And that's the one thing I worry of. You take away the reason for the person who's skilled or like puts teamwork together and grinds the hell out of like they do level all season. They finally put it together. They run the flawless pit of they run the pit of heresy, or this season they do a flawless solo prophecy. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word. And again, they get a random Widow's Bite sniper with crap rolls or something. It's like something needs to be put in there for the ultra efficient. Like, I mean, I know Ares, he's trying the solo flawless. I'll do it once my level and Last of Us 2's out of the way, and it's those types of things need to have something in there for the aspiration to go for.
Absolutely, but we in the share. I think we could still meet both of our missions with what you're saying. But I think we're literally on the same page. The mission still gets there with the person that doesn't have the time investment versus the person who is really going hard. I still think it gets there with both of these suggestions we're talking about, and both bases are appeased.
Sorry, not trying to belabor a point. So
no.
We just love to be on the player investment team at Bungie and these are the meetings they've probably had at some point.
I'm sure they're literally
that's a job I'd like to sign up for,
because they're literally duking out. Well, we have 90% of the people who are new, light, casual, and then you have this 10% who's loud and barking over here.
Right. That's how they look at us. Yeah.
And then the investment team's like, well, how do we balance those? And that's, you got to honor both sides, because the hardcore drags the new people in. Like, oh, what's this giant? Why is Destiny giantly up on Twitch stream? It's a big raid release day. These people are awesome doing crazy things. Did they get anything good? No. Yeah. Or yes. And you can have two different reactions from that. So
agreed.
As long as it's not 2 tokens and a blue man. Ooh, well, I think we're good.
Burn.
Burn.
Oof, burn.
I'm with that.
Wow. I don't know how to recover from that one. Bungie, you okay? Damn.
Shout out to 2 tokens and a blue. What else
Best
we got?
public event rewards ever. So yeah, and then we had the GCX stream, and we saw a teaser for 2 things. One, the red and blue crazy looking weapon. Do you have a thoughts of what that is?
Jarv, what are we thinking?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think it could either be, potentially there's some pulse and auto rifle themes or feels on looking at it, but it could possibly even be a shotgun. It's really hard to...
Yeah.
That's what I was leaning towards, actually. Shoddy.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Main reason, when you look at it, I'm trying not to ruin the stream right now. So if you look at the black, goofy looking thing on the blue barrel, it's like it would sit here, and then it looks like where you would insert the shells underneath. And this is where you'd cock and load the shotgun, and the rest is just the big brace. But I don't know why. That's what I was like for a sec. At first I was like, it's a sniper, and then I've honestly switched to thinking it's a shotgun. It has a really, really large barrel.
Large barrel, yeah.
So unless it's tiny, but it looks long, so then it has a large opening for a barrel, which I think shotgun. But then on the other side, it has a very long rail up top and this little scope in the back, and I'm like,
which made me
feels like it. Somebody said like a scout sniper shotgun, like a weird combo thing. I'm like, I don't know what it is. It feels like a shotgun by the underneath rail and the size of the barrel, but then the top is it's weird. So I'm really curious what that is. But the other one, and even Dado made his video about it already. Hawkmoon. And it's
the
not
trio is complete.
Yeah, the trio is complete indeed. Now it's not going to be the same as it was. They're going to mess the randomness of how the gun works. They said is, I guess, not going to be damage related. But it will be coming back. So I was just kind of curious what you guys' thoughts of another D1 return. Is a good one for return. So what do you think?
Oof, well, Dado talked about it. Let me jump this one off.
Yeah, go.
This is a fun one, if you don't mind.
I haven't watched Dado's video yet.
It's
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch it a little bit later. That's cool. It's hard, isn't it? Because those are the unique things. Those are the things that made Hawkmoon unique. So it's when they reprise something, it needs to be an evolution of its former self, not a watered down version. So it's finding that balance. And by the sounds of what Luke was saying, it still feels like they're experimenting with what feels right. And I guess a little bit can be seen when you look back at Ariana's vow. Originally, you set itself on fire, and they scrapped that and made it an ornament and put it on Tommy's matchbook instead. So they'll mix and match different things. I just don't know how they're going to do it with Hawkmoon, really, because it needs to do increased damage because that's what made it special. But taken the randomness out. And Memento Mori is the closest thing to taking out randomness. That also provides damage buffs as well. But you don't just want another Ace of Spades that's a different RPM hand cannon, right? So it's yeah, man. I'm interested to see it. I wanted to use it. I hope it sounds just as awesome as it did back in
that gun sounds
D1.
so clean, Jarv. Oh, the way that thing shoots, that sound effect, that was a very clean sounding gun.
I love that sound.
When you get that luck in the chamber and that, woo, it was clean. It was clean. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I get taking the randomness out because you want to take RNG out of gunfights generally, but it's Memento Mori is probably the closest thing I could probably say to achieving that. But
Cog?
This is a fun topic because I had the pleasure of watching Dano's video on this, which is absolutely hilarious. I feel for him as a person. We all have our favorite exotics. That's just how things are with Destiny. You have those attachments, and for him, Hawkmoon is that. So, he's been a staunch proponent that it needs to come back in its original form and the lore, aside with it, which was the whole magic bullet, right? That's what made Hawkmoon special. There was always that chance. It's like hitting the slots, playing loud. There's that chance that bullet would be, that 2-tap, you get him out of there, and it was just a magic thing. So I feel him. However, Bungie doesn't seem to be going in that direction. They've alluded that there will be some type of evolution or change to the gun. I'm at this point. I'm willing to give them the way I look at it is I look at it as Thorn. When Thorn was announced coming back, I was terrified. I'm not gonna lie to you, Jarv. I was like, oh no, not that gun. Not that I didn't want it to come back, but no. If it came back in its original D1 form, the terror that gun rained on people, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I was shook up. So to see their evolution of it, and then they had the little orbs, and then the thing, and then the power up, and it's still effective. It's still really good. I think Thorn is a good example of them evolving it in a good way, where you still keep the basic feel and the premise of the weapon, albeit slightly changed from D1. So now, Hawkmoon. I'm happy with it coming back. I'm very curious to see how do you remove luck in the chamber completely? Like how you remove bonus damage? Like
you could adapt the Lumina thing, can you? Where it you get a kill, it creates some sort of orb that you pick up, and then your next round is a buff to your damage rather than a bullet for you to buff others. It's a direct buff to you.
Something you almost literally copy Thorn and Lumina. Like they have their counter sides. It needs to be its own thing. And that was luck in the chamber. It's either like ping, ping, ping. You're like, and you see that crazy. I don't know.
That crazy number.
Yeah, I loved the way that gun. First off, I love the way the gun felt. So I'll be very curious to get it back, because that thing for year one, it just felt good. Whether I had the numbers and I could hit my shots or not, just the way it felt. So good always.
And you're not a hand cannon guy like that, so I'm impressed that you like talking like this.
Oh no, that was my baby in year one. Hawkmoon, I lived on.
No. Oh, I never.
Hawkmoon was one of my D1 babies for as long as it has, when it had its life. Because I was PlayStation, so I got to enjoy it. Sorry.
Speaking of which, I was just about to comment. I was Xbox.
I know.
I never knew about the magic bullet.
Yeah.
When I got Hawkmoon,
it was a
totally different gun. Continue. We ain't gonna go into the console war.
It was just even just as a hand cannon for me, it was always one of my some people were like, oh, it's IS Luna or this, and even when IS Luna was top, I still loved my Hawkmoon feel for me, and that's what I was like. For me, I hate Trust. I cannot stand 180s for some reason. Some people love Trust, and a 180s just don't feel right. Look right.
They don't hit hard for you, or they just.
It's either the animation or the recoil or the feel. Something about it. Like the numbers I see, I'm like, oh, they're doing pretty good damage, but it's just like the way the gun moves. Almost, it's one of those.
About 180s.
It's one of their Bungie feel things.
I'm
one of those who doesn't jam with Trust. I can do other weapons, but
no Malfeasy for you, huh? No Malfeasy.
It's the vertical recoil, the perfect vertical recoil. Like I like it when it sort of comes off to the side a little bit, and you can sort of get your shots on. I don't know what it is.
Shout out
It's the
to
same with
CB
like
Gray.
Service Revolver. I've got some great rolls on it.
Oh
but
yeah, I
it's-
don't like.
Bro, it's so crazy. I love when it
Nope.
like Service
Yeah.
Revolver and now Trust. I feel you. Something about Trust. I'm with you on that. But Service Revolver, actually, it was Malfeasance that really got me into 180s. I was like, yo, I love this joint. But shout out to CB Gray. He's like, he don't like 180s either. So wait, so what do you prefer? You prefer 150s or?
I
140s?
mean, 150, just pretty much not a 180. I've used. No, I'm serious. Like I've used like
Anything but that.
I've used the Duke and messed around with it, like 140s, of
110s?
course. But I
you
mean,
giving 110s more love than 180s?
just
Damn!
the way it for a feel. And I'm saying this is me being stupid. I'm not arguing
No,
that.
this is you.
But
This
it's
is
just
you.
like when I fired Trust, I was like, it just never felt. It felt weird to me, and I can never explain why. Everybody's like, "Oh, Trust is so good." I'm like, I feel so terrible, and it was always so odd to me.
Oh my god, 180 slander.
110s. Thank you, CB. 110s. Make them great.
So you bust out the Duke. You was like, all right, this is what I'm talking about.
If I can hit Duke shots, they feel good. Yeah.
Oh my god, the slander 180s. Okay, it is
That's
a personal
just
thing. Though. That's a
my
personal
Duke. Man,
thing.
dude, I have like 5 Dukes in my vault. They're all good. Probably. I need to delete a
Now,
few.
Duke is
like
good,
everything.
though. I like Duke. I do like Duke. But continue. So we back to the Hawkmoon and obviously the aesthetic. We can't. Hawkmoon
And
is
the
a
ornament
sexy
too that
hit.
we had, the black and gold feather on there. Ooh. If it feels good and the perk, the way they choose to mess with the perks, that might be an exotic ornament I buy just because it's one of mine. So I'm like one of those like that might be a sucker moment for me.
$10. Here we go.
Yeah. Make them cheaper and I would buy them all. I'm serious. If it was like, if I could spend like $10 and get 3 things as opposed to $12 for one, I'll spend 20 to get 6. And then I would have still at least spent 20. So it's like, that's a whole different discussion. But no, I'm I was surprised to see it announced, honestly. Because for one, we always have way too many hand cannons anyway. So to get that another one, I was like, here we go again. But it has a special place, so I will be curious if they ruin it or not. So,
You know what's funny? Like, go ahead, Jarv.
I was going to say, if you could reprise an exotic and pull one out of the vault that wasn't Hawkmoon, what would your go-to be? What would
From
you like to
Destiny-
see come back?
from Destiny 1,
Yeah.
I need a list. Hold on. Google, treat me well here. Destiny exotics.
One.
Hold on, I gotta scroll.
Getting that scroll on, going back into the digging in the crates.
Digging in that
D1.
vault.
Digging in that D1 vault. What we looking at?
I'm looking.
Touch of Malice, don't
Touch
at
of
me.
Malice Cloud? Really? If they revisit it, just redo it. You know what I'm saying? But
What is you got one, Cognito? What are your D1 jams?
most of them have come back. So for me, you know, I'm a
Which is not the
sleeper
best
kid.
phrase there. I've got most of them back in D2 because they didn't make new stuff up.
Listen, look, we can't give them slander because we ain't gonna act like Witherhoard ain't out here ruling these streets. All right, so let's give out the new
About to
credit.
get fixed, but yeah.
True, but Witherhoard is Witherhoard. That's a new exotic. So, you know, this is for the OGs. But I think for me, like I said, I got Sleeper back. Last Word, obviously. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my favorites. There's some weird ones that I miss just for weirdness sake.
Yeah.
I definitely, what was the, damn, why am I forgetting the name of it? The Arc Kinetic
Zello
Auto-
Supercell?
Zalo. Yeah. I like that. I had a little J going
I
to
used that a
and
lot at Nightfalls. Oh man, did I ever. Yep.
I
that was-
missed elemental primaries. I missed them so much. So that was one that set it off. I got a weird one since we're talking 110s. I don't know how they would do it, but I like the power. It was a not used exotic. Remember First Curse?
Yeah.
Remember First Curse?
It
I used
never,
to use
it
First
never
Curse.
got much love, but yes, I do
Yeah.
remember it.
It had maybe like one buff. It hit like a truck, but it was definitely not the fastest handling thing. But you know, that's it. And then probably the last thing. See, I got Sleeper. I got all my OG stuff kind of back, you know. So what about you, Jarv? Like any bring the
I'm
question
just
back to you.
scrolling through this list, and I think
You gotta do
like,
it like that.
there's
Yeah.
literally like a handful that haven't made it back. Right? You got like Galahorn's not come back. Obviously, all the
Please don't
exotic
bring that back.
swords.
Please.
Yeah, you don't want Galahorn back.
Xylo's just it's not that different to Risk Runner now. Really, the Red Death's like Crimson, so there's a lot of similarities with some weapons.
Yeah.
I think and then obviously you got the ones with ammo regenerating perks. They won't come
not
back.
coming back. No invective is coming back.
So the only one that isn't one of those really that hasn't come back yet is possibly Vex Mythoclast as a possible one.
Don't tease this man with that VOG. Don't tease this VOG.
You know,
It's coming.
If
It's
they're
coming.
bringing VOG back, I mean, they
VOG,
got to have the
you know
rewards
it's
to go
coming.
along with it.
It's got to come, baby. It's got. You know,
Can't
it's
bring
coming
back
through.
VOG and not have Vex.
Exactly. Come on. That's like peanut butter without the jelly. Like me. Come on. You
So
know
I
what's
got-
happening.
It's like, so I got 2.
What you got? Let me hear.
Patience and Time, because I was like the cloak snipe.
Ooh, going cloak. That was a good one. I remember
That
that
was
one.
always
That was a nice
fun.
sniper.
Now,
And it had the
this
little ghillie
is-
suit.
This is something I wish they would do. Class-specific ones like Talaylock.
That was my jam.
The
Talaylock.
way,
Continue.
and that's like, it works the way, what is the Hollow Fire Heart? By not using your super, you get benefits otherwise. And this is one of those. While your super is like full up, that gun was a monster. But by
yes, the
doing
RPM.
that, it was like freaking auto scout. It was just crazy town. But you also sacrifice the way that gun plays. You can't use your super to have that effect. So it was a trade off. So those are ways for them to try and get some uniqueness in there to be like, hey, if you want to use this your super, or you can have a gun that fires like crazy. Like those type of Pocket Infinity, by the way. Just that's almost merciless, but still.
I think it broke the game, didn't it? I think it'll break the game again.
Yeah.
Can it be any worse than Telesto though?
No, I
That'll
think
break the
Telesto's. They just look at Telesto and a server shuts down. So I think that's how that goes. You all right over there? Or you got like construction going on?
Yeah, it's bad, bro. They're literally doing construction right now. It's bad. Yeah, sorry.
It's fine. We'll keep it going. So, but yeah, so there are some cool ones. I just, we have seen, if you guys have actually looked at the Beyond Light page, they show 2 exotic kind of pieces of gear at this angle. One might be a rocket launcher. One might be a weird looking, like, serrated sword. I don't know if you guys have seen those, but if you go to that page, it's just below Stasis. They got some cool looking ones coming, so definitely got some new ones coming in the fall as well. But
Yeah,
you have
rocket launchers need some love, man.
oh my god, do they ever? How would you fix rocket launchers? I'm curious. What would you do? Just more damage, faster fire, 2 in the chamber, all?
I think having more in the chamber initially. I think having 1 in the chamber kind of sucks, or even have the option to get tripod back or something like that. That was quite a cool perk. And they need to buff the damage anyway even if they have like some sort of debuff on the enemy, like Felwinter's Helm gives, if you have the opportunity to do that with some perks, so it increases the damage of other weapon types, not heavy weapons.
Yeah.
Because that would be overkill. That you can stack with other things. It's a hard one because you don't want to, you can't keep just moving the bar up and up in terms of damage numbers because then, you got that creep going on again. But at least have more in the chamber because, having to reload every time automatically makes them not optimal for any DPS build because you're just forever reloading the thing. And especially after, the nerf to things like Luma boots and stuff like that. So you can't just stand there and fire it.
Yep.
So yeah, that'd be the standout change initially to see how that feels and then maybe tweak some of the numbers outside that.
Yeah, it seems about fair. Yeah, just a damage boost. Yeah, it's like they're just so slow. You can fire 1, and for that 2 seconds, you're like, cool, and then DPS just falls off a cliff, and you're never coming back. So it's pretty rough on that front.
Someone's already killed what you were trying to shoot with a sword anyway, so...
Yeah, especially with the mods.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, like exotics continue to be fun. I guess we'll see how they go. But yeah, Hawkmoon, it had a special spot, so we'll see how it plays out, I guess.
And then No Time to Explain's coming back, right? So
yes,
that's
is
the
too.
one I'm actually excited for. Low key, I felt that one has potential that we need to see more of.
Because
I don't even remember what speed it was. Like
Wasn't it like it refunded rounds on critical hits? Is that what it did in the end?
That sounds...
Yeah, precision hits. It used to refund the magazine.
Yeah. So it used to be good for like Golgoroth and stuff like that.
Chain body shots to gain bonus damage on your next precision shot and return ammo to the mag. So it's kind of like a Jade Rabbit pulse, almost, to a point. The way at least it sounds there. I don't know. Are you just dying over there, sir?
Oh, do you hear this?
If you guys are listening...
Well, I muted it. Do you hear this? Can y'all hear it?
Yeah, when you're talking, I can hear you
It's
behind
insane. It's insane. They're like, yo, you doing the podcast. Jackhammer, let's go. I'm like, come on, bro. It's bad.
Oh, man. Well, hey, at some point, if you got to talk, that's just part of it. There's, for the audio listeners out there, Cognito has apparently got jackhammers outside and roofing being done, and apparently they're just ripping out one of his walls. He's shaking his head over it.
Yeah, the look of disappointment. Oh, feels, man.
Yeah.
You need to get that RTX voices. You can make that work on a GTX card.
Right here. You can?
Send me the link. I'm going to buy it. This is awful. Continue.
RTX voice on GTX card. Yeah, I need to show him that. I haven't even tried that on mine yet. I've got a 1080 Ti. I didn't know it actually would do that.
Yeah, I use it when I'm like in Discord, but if I'm doing commentary, I have it like fresh from my mixer. I don't have it on.
Makes sense.
That's about it, really.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have another patch coming down the pipe. So we got one patch. We got, Antaeus wards, the remove super energy bonus and increase sprint time to activate. So you still got your bubble of protection, but a little harder to just walk around. A couple fixes just across the board, nothing too major. Trials will return today, so if you guys are open for trials, you got it coming back. And then they took a few beavers out, not all of them. They just introduced a minor fix for beaver errors, so hopefully you guys will be seeing less of those. That's a constant thing, but yeah, it was like the TWAB was actually very light this week. There wasn't a ton. Obviously, the donations were insane. They got another patch coming for the controller remapping options where the controller remapping was good in theory, and they broke Sprint. They broke it bad.
It was awful on controller, bro.
So I don't use, I don't, is it
brutal.
Is it just if you sneeze the wrong direction, your sprint's over? Or?
Dude, you try to sprint like more than once, you just stop. You get interrupted every minute. It was awful.
Brutal. They're going to fix the Wither Horde, deals excessive amounts of damage. And that's going to be planned for next week. They're finishing up some testing, so don't know if it's going to be Tuesday. They'll probably shoot for it, so look for that Twitter hotfix notification. Fix an issue where solo completion of Prophecy does not unlock the Triumph. Hopefully that one's retroactive.
Hopefully.
And then, a couple other things. Beyond Light pre-order bonuses. I got the Beyond Light collector's stuff separate, no game, and then I'm going to do the digital deluxe on Steam.
You're doing your Stranger statue, huh?
Is that how you get?
Nah, I think that's a separate bundle, I think.
Yeah, that's a separate thing on top. So I got the one with the little pyramid fragment. I got the pyramid fragment one. That's the one I wanted. But
email if you. So I got the one with the game, and they email you the code, and then you just put it in Steam straight away. So when I go to tests and look in my expansions tab, I already own Beyond Light. When I look at that,
I just did them separate. I probably could have done them together. That's fine, but just trying to make sure I didn't have to wait on them shipping me a stupid Steam code in the mail or something.
Here's an actual disc.
Yeah, it's I don't even have a freaking CD-ROM drive.
Remember that?
Oh, so much. Yes, so much.
Good old days of disc.
But the statue's insane. The amount of detail on that statue is. I want one. They're a limited supply, though. I don't know how much they are either.
They're not going to be cheap. If it's like any of the others, you can go anywhere from 150 to probably 300 was usually, if they're that type, they're never cheap. They're legit, though. Every one of the models that they do, they look so detailed and good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got the confirmation about the raid armor not making it past season 14. So, Season of the Worthies year 4 counterpart is the last time you'll be able to use that. Just interesting they wouldn't take it to 15. They cut it 3 months instead of just, hey, you get one more year and then it's out. It's what is going on in season 15 that you can't use raid gear? Always wonder just like why there's these weird arbitrary numbers out there.
You think maybe the promotion of the new one, they just really, what is it, Deepstone Crypt?
Well, yeah, I mean, Deepstone Crypt, you'll be able to use the old raid stuff in because that'll be September. But I mean, unless they do
Which
another
is season 12.
Yeah, that's just season 12. Then 13 and 14, you'll still be able to use it. That raid will still probably be active the way Garden is now. That raid will still probably work in 15, but your gear won't. So maybe that's their way to be like, hey, that old stuff, okay, now you really got to forget about it as we go into the fall. Like the summer's the transition time. Maybe they're just making it that. Possibly.
Yeah, that's what it feels. It feels like that hard cutoff as far as that's when September seems to be a refresh, a renew, and then, a lot of the old stuff goes. At least that's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, like gives you that season to get relevant gear to take into fall rather than carry what you've already been carrying all year into the DLC. This is sort of what we're doing right now, which is why Umbrams are really good, and being able to focus their specific stats is really, really good.
Yeah, it'll be nice to go for truly like high stats and everything we're going. When finally the prismatic recaster gets like maxed out, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be rather pretty to see what pops out of there.
I mean, seeing some of the stat rolls coming out of the dungeon's insane. I know Say No to Rage had a pretty nutty, like 113 stat piece of gear come out of the dungeon.
Get, like 70 plus. What would you have to have? Like powerful friends for 20, so that would take it maybe to like 90.
I think you had powerful friends, traction, and like a mobility mod on there. I think.
Yeah, that would be just bonkers.
Shout out to ISI. He cleaned out his whole vault. Everything maxes out 1060. Yeah, I did the same thing, man. Some things I couldn't delete because I think it was like my Galliard. I was like, oh, I can't. There was some I was just like, I can't. It's this roll. I think maybe I got the curated kindled orchid. I couldn't do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, some of those things. See,
bro.
I mean, I have a much worse problem, but some of those things they get to stay.
Yeah, because I was looking at all my vaults. All right, 1060s come to the front. It was like we doing a little execution, a little chopping block.
Nah.
Yep. So a lot of people got thrown in the abyss and deleted. But there was some that I'm like, I just cannot, in good conscience, delete this gun. I just can't. And Orchid was one. I
was like, I think
escalation protocol stuff. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say like my curated Nation of the Beast that I just like luckily got. Yeah, keeping that one because that was like how I finished my solo flawless. There's certain ones for me that I have like certain like memories for. I still have my whatever kinetic sniper it is.
Which one?
Dread Adventure. It's the one I used when I did my Whisper of the Worm run, and just have the armor. And it's rapid hit rampage, so it's actually a pretty good roll. But yeah, that thing is so old. It's not going forward, but it's not getting deleted either. But then I sit there and I look at like, oh, I've got an imperative with outlaw and multi-kill clip, appended mag, extended barrel, and I'm like, if scout, I can't tell you if I've honestly thought about just deleting every scout rifle.
I know, right?
They all suck. Every scout rifle right now, I look at my vault and I'm like, why do I even have you? A pulse does everything a scout, honestly, for me, literally. Because I see Night Watch dropping. Like
Night Watch though is good though. I like Night Watch. I do.
Oh, but this was it actually. I was trying to remember what gun I have that I'm like, why? Why is there like something that pissed me off that dropped this season that I already had? Oh, my Night Watch that I already have. Rapid hit, multi-kill clip, range masterwork, full bore.
Oh,
I already have that from Drifter, and now it's dropping now. Not gonna hold up.
Yeah, I know. I had to delete one of my like masterwork. Same thing. I had like a rapid hit, multi-kill clip Night Watch. And then I literally got the new version, and I'm like with the same roll pretty much, and I'm like, oh, all right, gotta get the old one out, delete. Got a bunch of shards though, got a bunch of what you call it?
Oh yeah, master shards. Yeah, that's where the reissues have to be very careful for what they're doing with them, because if that happens frequently, it's gonna start to piss a lot of people off who are around. Yeah, but if they make things like the Trinity Ghoul Catalyst, I'm probably not gonna care. Have you got that yet? You probably don't have that yet, do you?
I've got the Catalyst.
Have you finished it?
Yeah, I've been working. I heard it's nutty.
Have you used that, Jarv? Have you used the Trinity Ghoul with the Catalyst on it?
No. I do have the Catalyst. It has dropped, so I just haven't got it. But I've seen some of the videos, and it's
It's
off the
insane.
chain.
Go
So
grind,
it's off the chain.
makes
go
it
grind
crazy?
it out. Oh my god!
Break it down. What is
Okay.
it that's so crazy about? Because I'm a full disclosure.
Hmm?
I never even touched Trinity Ghoul. As soon as I got that exotic, I threw it straight in the vault. I've never even tried Trinity Ghoul. I'm that terrible.
I tried it a little bit.
Yeah,
but-
the only bow I tried was Le Monarch, which I did like. But continue.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Mhm.
So what it does is
Yeah, break it
I'm
down.
trying to find the wording on it so I say it right.
Educate me on this gun I deleted.
You know, that's what collections are
This
for. You
bow.
can always pull it back out.
Yeah.
Basically, what it does is, if you get a precision kill when precision kill when you get the full draw and all three little shots are together, because it's 3 arrows, not one.
Yeah. Right.
When you get the precision, it used to be you had to get a precision kill with Trinity Ghoul to activate the lightning coil, and then when you'd fire the 3 and you could spread them out how much you wanted, and it would shoot lightning down. If you have that gun equipped, not put away, but equipped, arc damage, just damage, activates lightning coil, grenade, super,
Nice.
just it is insane.
So it's like
what it will do. Any arc,
Thunderlord.
so any arc damage final blow, you do a grenade, you do a super, you do this one, you get a grenade, this final blow, this final blow. So if you do the lightning, I sat there in Altars of Sorrow just because you would just shoot one guy, the lightning would come down on top, and then then you don't even have to get precisions. You can just spread them and get the spread every kill. It gets to be lethal.
Nice.
It is.
I gotta pull it out.
So if they refresh older exotics like that,
yeah,
now we're talking. Because that's
for what I'm saying.
Oh, and that's
really what they gotta do.
That exotic that gives that one brand new life.
This is what I'm talking about. This is why I say save the exotics, baby. This is what you do. Look how you're raving about it.
I know.
Look how you're raving about this old exotic that you wanted to kill off.
I was like, if there's more of this, yeah, that's a different story. But this is like a baby of the first time, so we will see.
No, but they did it. They did it with Sunshot. Come on, we got to give. They gave Sunshot some love. They gave.
Didn't they just literally give it a few more in the clip?
Yeah, more in the clip. Like, yo, they got some joints out here. They just need reimagined. Shout out to Jarv though, because I'm gonna have to start using that chaperone in PvE. It's looking quite.
I made that video about a week ago. I was like, let's jump on these slugs that got a massive buff, and then I've seen a few videos come out since. But ultimately, they're all hitting the same notes. It's no joke, man. Slug shotguns are serious. To be honest,
it's 30% PvE buff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the numbers wise, it does more DPS than Xenophage. But it's situation, but it's situational, right? Because you need to be up close and you need to have precision hits and stuff. So you need to. Whereas Xenophage, you can just hit fire it and not have to get the crits, right? So ease of use, Xenophage is still probably the one. But if you want the actual numbers, then Chaperone is actually a better number. But I was using, by the end of my video, I was using Blasphemer and pairing that with Anarchy and then stacking those two together. And it's just dirty. It's just dirty.
I'm so happy for Chaperone right now. This is what I'm talking about. Listen, Chap, it was low key. It was a sleeper in PvP for sure. Like if you use it, you know how to use it. You had skill with it.
Yeah,
it was beast. You had the longest range, to get it. But to see it was a gun a shotgun you'd never use in PvE. Never really use it. And to see it get this PvE love again, reimagine this bad boy or buff the class. I love that slugs are getting. Now the thing is, you know what's crazy? I used to have so many slugs shotguns. From Ban. What was that one that used to drop? There was one from Ban at Ganoras. Yeah. So that one, and I used to have all these crazy rolls. I'm like, these are trash. Delete. And now I'm like, damn, I want a legendary. I heard the one from the
You wish you still
dungeon.
had stuff in your vault that you could go back and access? Weird.
It was old, man. It was old. I had to get up out of there. But
I have an opening shot, outlaw, assault mag, full bore. I mean, I have 5 of those to pick from right now. Moving target, quick draw, light mag, hammer forged.
You know what it was, E? I'm so good about keeping that. And for whatever reason, I just gave up with slugs. I was like, I don't think they ever gonna touch it. And then I just delete. I think I got one, and it's just like a PvP roll. Yeah. But I have no PvE like you're talking. Like these, man, I want to use these in PvE and see how these players. Like Jarv, have you been messing? Do we got any upcoming content on top PV, legendary slugs that I should be using, sir? What we talking about?
Slug wise, I mean, you got a good Bone Strike Shogun or his axe. Blasphemer's probably the better one, I guess.
That's dungeon, right?
Yeah.
What's the sword?
No, it's altar. Well, I guess
the
maybe
altar.
both.
Sorry, from the chest.
Okay.
The chest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're good. I mean, Chaperone is probably still the one for Crucible, though, right? But when you get, Roadborne's not hard to activate in PvE.
Yeah.
So you can do some serious damage with that for sure. I know I did a video covering like high impact pulses, and everyone's been having fun with those. Obviously, the new pulse rifle for this season's high impact as well. So Bungie obviously saw that coming. How do we make this weapon good? I don't know. We'll buff the archetype.
Buff the archetype, baby.
Yeah, I just unlocked.
Redrix is out here, brother.
I just got Cold Denial unlocked. I gotta try it.
Oh, you got Cold Denial, nice.
Yeah, so it's Cold Denial is hot right now, and Redrix is as well. If you've still got the quest, if you haven't, then you won't be able to get it yet. Until Bungie fixed that, or you can't put it from your collections either. So,
See, that's why you don't delete.
So high impact pulses are still a good one, and obviously Trinity Ghoul would have got the benefit of the small bow buff as well, right? For for minus 10%. So not only is it crazy now, it does a bit more damage than it did before. So those are the noticeable ones. I know a few other people have maybe touched on a few other weapons.
Teller with Feeding Frenzy.
I got one.
Give that a shot.
Yeah, give that a shot. I'm gonna tell y'all. Give you what's it? Hollow Words. The fusion with Vorpal. Yo, boss melters. Trust me, I'm gonna tell you. Use it, and that's not even an aggressive type fusion. Leave it to precision. I got it to drop with Vorpal. It is. You put either a boss spec on that and a major spec, whatever, based on your playstyle. It melts, man. It's that's the first time, because at first I was like, would I even use this overloaded question? Let me just see what Vorpal on this fusion is doing. It's special. I really like that fusion. So if you guys get that, I've been rocking that a lot.
Vorpal under pressure, perhaps?
That's literally what I have, brother. We got the same role.
I got it. Yeah.
What's your masterwork? What's your masterwork, though? What's your masterwork looking like?
Hold on. I got charge time. I got liquid coils.
Oh, I'm jealous.
Charge time and liquid coils for the bonus damage, and then I've either got hammer forged rifling or extended barrel. So
I'd shard that for sure.
Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Get that some of it. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't got the charge. I got the reload. I'm like, world masterwork, but. Yeah, same thing. Vorpal under pressure. I was in Reckoning, just tearing up stuff, yellow bars. If you got a name, like anything that got a name,
if you have a name, I'm gonna delete you.
Bro, don't pull up in my fire team and you as an enemy with a name. You gonna get it. It's just great, especially if you run out of heavy ammo. So I'm really loving Vorpal right now. What other weapons? I've been the meta for PvP. I've been liking Redrix. The handling is still slow. I'm not happy that the fact that my man Shax ain't dropping the no more Redrixes no more. With the variations, like, so I'm stuck with my default build, which I shouldn't have deleted the other Redrix, but that's my own fault. But he's gonna lash me on that one again. But yeah, man, I've been having fun with the meta. I've been really having fun. What you call it, where the horde is, we already know. It's just, it's to do everything, man. It's just, I'm having so much fun with it. And then you guys with the sword builds, I've been doing the Charger Light.
We got exotic swords as legendaries.
Yeah. Have you used Energy Converter yet?
Energy Converter, which one is that?
It's a sword.
It's the mod from rank. It's the mod from rank 15 of your caster.
The one. What does it do?
So if you have like supercharged and you can get like up to 5 stacks of charge of light, and then by throwing a grenade, you can get half your super back.
Oh, yeah, I have it. I just haven't used it because I've been using the other one, the one where once you get charged with light, it gives the sword damage like 30% extra or something. I've been using that one, that charge with light synergy. If y'all know what I'm talking about, it's a
yeah.
Is it Lucid Blade or something?
Yeah, it was like one of the first ones that dropped. Yeah. I tweeted about that like the day it was for sale.
Yeah, that's like that's a must get mod. But yeah, the energy converter is insane, to be honest as well.
If you have 5 stacks, it'll go half super.
Yeah, so it's only the first half of your super though, so it won't give you your second half.
Okay.
So it's good for popping. So if you pop your super and throw your grenade, and then you got your half your grenade, you got your half your super back, and then I was using it with like bad juju, and then just getting my super back like string of curses, like super again, bomb. Just
I like that synergy.
Putting bubbles down everywhere, just like it was good for Auto of Sorrow doing waves, just putting bubbles all around the boss.
So they thought ahead between combining that and then Crown or Skull of Dire Ahamkara. You can't go first half, second half.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you got your first half, throw that grenade, and now you're full again.
That's it. Orpheus rig, pop,
all of those.
Throw a grenade.
Doom Thing would have been the other. Yeah. All of those would have been fun.
Any weapons?
It's good you don't even need to hit. You don't even need to hit an ad either. You can just throw your grenade away, just toss it off into the trash, and you get half your super back.
That's pretty good. That could be really viable. I haven't actually. I don't know if I'm that high on the season stuff yet. Mm-hmm. I didn't do all that umbral farming, so I'm playing all normal over here.
I've been deleting my hunter and doing the first mission. And
I saw that video. Yeah, I see you. I was like, oh, Jarv is in his bag with that new character stuff. I love it.
I don't know if I can bring myself to delete some of those.
I'm glad they fixed the rank 2 upgrade because it gives you it puts your twisted energy directly into your recaster, but what it was doing was only putting half the energy in. And then the other half was just being lost, so it was taking you twice the time to upgrade your recaster if you chose that module. But you should, in theory, be able to get 2 upgrades every time you do it. So
okay, shout out to Cloud Plays. He said any Witherhoard builds y'all been working. Yeah, I got a fun one where one of my charge with lights with multiple grenade launcher kills just gives me charge with light, and then I got the one that stacks my maximum charge light to like 5.
Yep.
Yo, you know which one is very underrated and nobody's talking about once you're charged? I think it's like it's something like some type of divine protection. So basically what happens is
you get like a shield when you get low health.
Yep. But it is if your shield is broken. Yeah, your shield. Just like you
take a lot less
protective
damage.
Light.
Protective light. Yep. Bro, that is my Nightfall high level saver. That thing has saved me more than you think on high level content. So what I'll do is I'll keep it. So basically it's like an insurance card. You keep your stacks on, and then if something happens, I think I was playing with some randos one time, and nobody had unstoppable Mards on the damn ogres in the Savathun Song of Savathun strike. So I'm the only one with like one. I must have used my grenade or whatever. And they get like bum rushed by this thing. And then I'm like, oh no, it's just me, last Guardian left. And then I got hit, but then it kicked in and you see the timer go like whatever, the protection thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got that. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And then kind of save the day moment. It's really good for high level content, especially if you make mistakes like me. You definitely, it's like a nice little insurance card. I've been loving that. So yeah, I've been using that with a Horde Cloud Plays. I've been using that with the one that stacks based on grenade launcher kills, because it's so easy. You just throw a puddle to the ground, watch the rolls, run into it. You get like 2-3 stacks off the rip. You're good to go. You're good to go, man.
You got that mod as well.
The stacks on stacks, where every one you get 2, you'll be stacked all the time.
Yep, that's what I got that one too.
And then you got that regular mod that you can put on that just gives you super energy for getting grenade kills on your class item. Oh, the possibilities are endless, man. You can keep going.
We're getting into like build territory now.
Getting into builds, baby.
Yeah, we are.
Getting into builds, man. I'm like, I can't believe.
Quick thing. I want you guys to rank the stasis subclasses, at least from the picture we've seen. The ice pickaxes, the I don't know what you'd call it, the Lord of the Rings staff of ice, and then ice fists. Hulk hands, whatever you want to call it.
Looks like ice fists.
Yeah.
I had a conversation this morning with Houndish about the ice fists, so I'm going to
Wait, where y'all seeing this imagery?
You got to go frame by frame trailer, man. You got to break that stuff down.
Oh, y'all breaking it down. Y'all professionals. My bad. I forgot. I'm dealing with 2 professionals here. How could I forget? Apologies, Jarv and Ibantis. So frame by frame, we saw some stuff.
Yeah, there's a point where it's like the 3 shot. It's like all 3 classes. And that's the only time you ever get to see the Titan, because you see like the Hunter throw his like axe and shatter the ground, and you see the Warlock like holding onto this like ice staff or white staff or whatever it's doing, and then all you see is this little tease in the corner of the Titan, and he looks like he has giant icy blocks on his hand. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know if he's just going to go around and punch the hell out of people or what. I'm so confused.
Interesting. I got to look at that.
So what do you think, Jarv? What do you think is going to be the most fun or coolest?
When I saw the Titan, the thing that I thought about the most is a lot of our supers are roaming. So I would like them to, and all the Titan supers other than the bubble tend to be roaming. But I thought if they go back to like the old Fist of Havoc, so if you slam the floor, a sheet of ice goes out in front of you and just freezes everything solid.
That'd be sick.
And you can smash them and see them just all break just in front of you. It'd be insane. Can you imagine doing that in Control, just freezing a point and then just like taking...
Just shut them
just
down.
taking that whole team?
That's too much for you Titans. Let's stop it. This is
come on.
this is way too much. No. Stop it. You guys are doing too much. You're having too much
hunters
fun.
are going to have like ice pickaxes that are going to like probably shatter and like hit a cone of frozenness in front of it or something. Like, trust me, we're
They're
not going to
probably
be
little boomerangs. They probably just come back and just keep throwing them.
Yeah.
You guys are evil.
That's
What's
right.
my warlocks getting to combat this?
You get this like ice beam
They
of
become
death
wizards.
or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, give me some cool magic something, man. Because if they're doing all this for you guys, woo, that's scary. Oh, man.
we're making all this
There is a
stuff up.
moment where it looks like ads are frozen in time. Like it looks like either there's some sort of ability that seems to freeze them or slow down time. So who knows? Warlocks might be able to fire something off that
what if you
slows
have
players down.
Yeah.
What game actually did it? Oh, I'm trying to remember. Like, what if you throw like a time grenade and you have to tell me because I feel like and it actually slows the projectiles in
Quantum Break.
Okay, that might be
Quantum
one.
Break.
Yeah, and there might have
Quantum
been
Break was a lot of time-based abilities.
like everything
But that'd
slows
be-
down. So like, say you throw it on a knight and his like big giant thing is just like, and it just travels really slow, and you could just like move out of the way and go in and
Move out of the
swipe.
way.
Like that'd be
Yeah,
awesome
yeah.
with a sword or something.
That'd be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to Stasis, man. The possibilities of what they're going to introduce. Man, it's something about September, man. I just love it. Just literally feels like a game refresh. And there's so many new systems they always add. Always the most exciting time. This a new something, man. I'm hyped. I cannot wait to see what they do with that, man. But I confront. I've been having a ton of fun with Arrivals right now. I really have. I've been the builds, the progression so far already has surpassed Season of the Worthy. I'm putting it out right now. We with 2 weeks. It's better. It's better. I don't care. The rest of the season can literally do nothing, and it's already better. Season of the Worthy. I am all on the Season of Arrival train right now.
I can
So
see.
I
much
went
that.
to Titan for the first time yesterday, and I was like, where did this pyramid come from? Like this thing is like bearing down.
There's
I haven't been to Titan.
There's one on Titan this week because I've gone
This
and I
time.
swear it's.
No,
thought it was
the,
IO.
the screenshot. Sorry.
Oh yeah,
So
the
the screenshot of Titan, which is probably going to be next week, right? But like,
That's my guess. Yeah.
So what y'all think now? Is gonna move over there?
No, I think more.
yeah,
More.
yeah.
Or we're gonna get the invasion. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Arrivals.
Rivals.
Multiple.
Correct. You are
Yeah.
correct.
So
Plural.
yeah, it's like I guess 2 weeks because they seem to do everything in these seasons in about 2 weeks. So it feels like this one, and then we're gonna go Titan, and then you'll probably have like a couple going on, and then Mars, and then Mercury. You'll have 4 ships planted. I don't know what's gonna be like the calm before the storm, and then somewhere, and I don't know. It could have been one of your videos, one of who knows. The word evacuation seems to have been a thing I've heard.
Oh yeah, that
Really?
might be one of mine. Yeah,
Yeah, so it was like
Talk to me.
I watch
Talk
too
to me.
many, so I try and be as on top of.
Traveler's Chosen is there's an evacuation piece for pretty much all the destinations that are being vaulted,
Yep.
and that's part of the Traveler's Chosen exotic quest as well.
Yeah.
So it looks like that quest is going to be over multiple weeks. There's like 22 steps to it. It's
I
massive.
saw it's crazy big. Yeah. But yeah, the fact that we have evacuation be like, all right, Sloan, get out of here. What is Vance, get off of this planet. Anna, pack it up. And then
You gotta save my homie though.
Asher,
my homie from
just like
Asher.
grab
You
your
gotta save
arm,
Asher, man.
grab your arm. Let's go.
Yeah, get grumpy Asher out of there,
Get
man.
grumpy
That's
Asher.
my
I wonder
guy.
if they're gonna be like gone. Like I wonder if they're gonna do
Yeah,
anything with
good.
the NPCs. I
Where
hadn't
they
actually
go?
thought
Yeah.
about that.
I thought
wonder
they
if
were
they
gonna
were
kill.
just gonna thought they were gonna be killed.
That's what I thought. I assumed the whole thing was getting evaporated based on what was happening. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean,
There's just
But there's
this
some
like
interesting stuff going on with Anna, but I don't want to talk spoilers too much.
yeah.
damn, I kind of want to know. Damn it.
We'll talk after.
We'll talk after that.
But no, yeah, I mean, I would say season arrivals kicked off well. We have the exotic Ruminous. I can't even remember the whole name. Effigy, I think, actually.
Effigy, yeah.
Yes.
And this isn't spoiler, by the way. This is on Twitter. For one, the model looks amazing. And two, it makes black, like when you kill him, it makes a little black hole, and that black hole collapses onto a little, like, relic that you pick up. And you see that, dude, run with the relic, slam down, and vaporize an ogre. So you're actually going to create another, like, damaged thing. So kill one thing, pick it up. I don't know if you'll be able to throw it or you'll have to dunk it, but either way, it seems powerful because he just like takes an ogre, clean gone. So I don't know when that's going to come. We have no dates on anything. We literally we get week 1 interference quest. We know we have Solstice. We know we have Moments of Triumph. That's it. That's like all we know this season. And outside of that, I'm just going to log in on Tuesday and be like, there's a new exotic quest, run! That's all it ever is. Try and do all the steps as quickly as possible. So if you guys are okay with spoilers, go check out all of Jarv's videos. He's going to have all the data mine stuff up there for you. Zero shame in the data mining there.
I don't have a lot of the data mine stuff, other than the Traveler's Chosen quest. I guess there's a lot of data mine stuff in there.
Yeah, I'm just giving you a hard time. But if people want to prep to at least be like, what do I do? He'll let you know. We know.
Yeah, 22 steps in under 10 minutes. You're welcome.
Let's go. Let's go.
See, he's efficient. If you can only watch this while you're cooking dinner, throw an earbud in, good to go. Knock that stuff out. Be prepared. That is Jarv's motto. He's the Boy Scouts right here.
Be prepared. Get ready. Get ready.
Well, we're actually at 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was going to say, is there anything else you guys want to talk? It's a weird week. Like, I know we're just getting into arrivals. There's a lot to talk about. There's still so much speculation over the future, but also, like, there's not anything specific that dropped per se this week.
Right.
We still managed to fill 2 hours, though. Always.
Yeah, we definitely hit it. I want to give a shout out to the homie, man. Shout out to Scarrow. Did you see the homie get the mention with the raid tunes, bro? He killed it.
Oh, that was cool.
And he had some good rankings. I don't know about that Stars #1, but music-wise, he had the classics, though. He had the Axis joint. He had, I ain't gonna lie, even though I love King's Fall, but it's not my number one, but King's Fall is great. I ain't gonna front, though. He killed that Oryx theme. He killed that Oryx. Like, that was dead on. So shout out to him on that. And then he had my favorite as number 2, which was the Queen's Walk theme when you leaving out. Yep. He destroyed it, man. Yeah, Forte, yeah, he killed it, man. Shout out to Scary. We've had him on last one a bunch of times, man. It was cool to see him get that recognition on the honorable mention by Bungie on the TWAB. That was dope. And he geared up. You see the shirt? You see my man, how clean my man was out there?
Had a Scarrow shirt and everything. He had to do it. He had to go. He went big. It was awesome.
He went big, man. He went big. That's what's up, man. And shout out to Dano. He said, "Did I mention it?" Yeah, I will mention that, Dano, on my outro. I will definitely mention that. Then I got you.
Gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, guys, the GCX stream is still going on, so go check out. See if you want to support somebody. Go for some of the crazy giveaways they did on Sunday. I don't even know where they're at for a total right now. Actually, I'm going to check real quick out of sheer curiosity, because yesterday was stupidly large number by the time Bungie just got done. What they do, man, like last year they got to, I think combined everything was like 3.8, right, for everything.
Right.
And that was like when we were wrapping up GCX and I think like the convention, and this time we're sitting at 4. I'm waiting for it to load. 4.7 million so far, and it's Friday morning. You still have Saturday, you still have Sunday, you still have Lupo. Like, that's crazy. So, new record again coming for GCX. It's already there. It's only getting bigger. So, that's pretty awesome. Well,
yeah, man.
I don't have anything else. Do you guys? It's weird. Like, I know I've been playing a lot. Oh, by the way, Last of Us 2, it came out. So if you guys are looking to enjoy some of that by through me, I'll be streaming that thing as we go. I got through the first major story beat last night and shut it down, so we'll be picking that one up later today as well.
That's what's up, man. Y'all be hitting that this weekend, probably later in the week. Just got a lot.
So you're playing through one first, though?
Yeah, I'm close. I'm about 70% in. Just like it fresh before I jump into part 2. But yeah, I'll be hitting it.
Jarv, will you do you like live in the Destiny world? I know lately you have been, obviously, but do you like branch out for other stuff? We didn't actually go like other game types you like. I was actually just kind of curious, like other stuff you play.
Time is limited, obviously, with doing this full time now. But we spoke before about some other sort of playtest stuff that I've got coming up next week with Midwinter Entertainment's game Scavengers. So I like to play other like indie games and stuff like that. Nice. I would love to be able to sit down and invest times into fantastic story-driven games like Last of Us and stuff like that, but I just don't have the time, unfortunately. So anything that's more session-based that I can sort of hop in, hop out, 20 minutes, half hour, 40 minutes here and there is probably more suited to where I am right now, unfortunately.
Yep, no, we understand. You got that content you're producing, getting that out there. Yeah, man, for me, I'll definitely hit that bad boy up too at some point. But it's been on my little Destiny grind, man. Just been loving it. As much as the time I do get to play. I've been really enjoying the grind so far.
Well, Jarv, if you wanna, we can actually wrap this thing up. If you want to tell them all the places they can find you, got any videos on your calendar wall? If you got some cool stuff that they can look forward to, a little sneak peek action. What do you got coming up, sir? And where can they find you? Find your content. Best place to see what's going on.
You can find me pretty much Jarvenis anywhere, Twitter, YouTube, pretty much any platform you'll find me. If you just search Jarv Destiny, you'll find me on YouTube relatively easily. We've got Zer in a few hours, so that'd be my content for today. I'm still mapping out Saturday and Sunday for this week, so no spoilers for those just yet, guys. But yeah, I'm still mapping out the coming weeks. It's really hard with the roadmaps being relatively light, trying to map stuff out like we used to be able to. But that's it's also exciting as well because you have to react quick. So it's all about reacting.
Yes. Tuesday is an open day because you never know what's coming. So
I like to prepare something for Tuesday, or at least get 70% of it done for Tuesday. So if nothing really happens, then I can spend an hour or two finishing to provide something still at a good time, rather than putting all my eggs in one basket, get to 6 o'clock, which is UK time reset, and be like, oh, there's nothing. Oh, damn. So yeah, I don't want to leave myself short, I guess.
This man is a pro out here. He's a pro.
Oh yeah. Look at the professional.
Putting in the work.
Professional, man.
Yeah. Got a whiteboard up there with just ideas flowing to it. Amazing stuff. No, man, honestly,
I wish it was true, dude.
It's hard, man. It's always hard trying to be like, am I going to copy somebody else's? Do it like, got to do your own stuff. But no, you have been. It's awesome to see your rise, and it's been well justified because you've been putting out some great stuff. So, yeah, very happy to have you on here. Pleasure to have you, and dude, just keep working hard. You are absolutely crushing it right now. So just ride that momentum train as long as it'll go.
I'm trying, man. I appreciate that, dude. Thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast. We've had a laugh. We've had a laugh and a good time.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Salute.
Cognito, sir, what do you got coming? I know Sunday is always fun for you guys, but what do you got coming up?
Yeah, man. Sunday, Lord's Day. You already know. 1 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, and all other platforms too. Twitch as well. You can follow me through this profile here. Twitch, make sure all that good stuff. Yeah, we're gonna have Dan Rodriguez from Seasoned Gaming. Bunch of industry vets, lots. Talk about what's going on in the gaming world. A lot of hot topics going on right now. We got that Last of Us. We got the Cyberpunk delay. We've got all type of things going on. So please tune in for that.
I'm happy about that delay. I really am. I'll be honest. I'm happy about that delay.
I'm happy about it too. Okay.
I'm so happy about that.
The next September was
gonna be awful. So no, that's so much better.
September would have been awful. We know what was coming for us for Destiny. You know what I'm saying? That kind of stuff. So, yeah, man, it was definitely, something I'm looking forward to. And, also I wanted to put in the chat for you guys. We are actually doing a giveaway. So it's a Gleam giveaway right now. We're doing that Strangers Edition. Now, here's the catch. Normally we do multi-platform giveaways, but in this case, because we're giving away that statue that is a GameStop exclusive, I believe, that Stranger joint, we had to pick one. So we picked Xbox this one because
you had to.
Because I had to.
I was like, what else are you going to pick? We got
because my clan's there. Because...
I was like, we got PlayStation just to see what the podcast reaction would be. That's why we did
Stop it. we just gave away last month. But good point, though. Valid point, E. But yeah, we're doing that joint on Xbox, and obviously they got announced for smart delivery. So Xbox guys, please, you know what I'm saying, check that out. What's going on? Really cool thing. So go check that out. Or obviously on the lordsgaming.net, man. Appreciate the support. It's been moving, it's been growing. We're loving what we're seeing right there. So check out those articles at lordsgaming.net. Tremendous writers, and of course the King of Statues, great statues. If you guys are into comic book statues, things like that, X-Men, he's got a great Captain America Winter Soldier, one of my favorite MCU movies. He's got that one up there right there. And of course, you know me, at Lord Cognito on Twitter. First of all, salute Jarv, man. Salute Jarv for coming through, man. Tremendous growth. Love the channel. Love what I'm seeing. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. And love talking Destiny with you. You are extremely knowledgeable, sir. And this is always fun. Hopefully we have you back soon. But that's all I got, man.
Yeah. Mine's easy. Ebontis everywhere. EBONTIS, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. As I said, I will be playing Last Word.
Yeah,
I will be playing The Last of Us Part 2. Apparently my mind's at least I'm in the right moment. But yeah, Zur, of course, yeah. I don't know who it was. I think it was Sivatech once. I don't know if you ever saw that tweet, Jarv. And he said, I know it's Friday because this is what my YouTube feed looks like. And I think it was you, me, and one other person. It was Zur on his YouTube feed. And it was like right around noon. It was just like, rink. He's like, yep, I know what time it is on Friday. So we will be doing our Zur videos here in about 90 minutes, of course.
Oh, yeah.
He's got random rolls at least, so thank God there's a little more life into that one, which is good because, you know, they were all over 60 last week. So stay tuned to those. They're definitely a good thing.
And you can use your exotic ciphers too, right? So if you hit level 55 on the season pass, you can get a second faded engram for the week if you already have all the exotics from previous seasons. So don't waste it. Use it if you need it.
Yeah. Absolutely. Shout out to Sinister coming in late when we end in. Salute to Sinister.
It's like, hi, what?
He's like, hey, I made it. Yeah, it's oh my God. Salute to the clan. Yep. IOP. Yeah.
Well, Jarv, we do try and wrap this thing up. We're always a little ridiculous when we do, but I'm going to kind of do all the outro, and then I'm going to give this big pause, and I'm going to say it has been. And the way I was trying to say the last word together, joys of post. I can always fix this later. But let's wrap this thing up, and then don't turn off your recording. We'll fix this up. Sinister at 1064. Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, he's beasting right now.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, so, crazy. Well, thank you guys, everybody. This has been awesome. Jarvenis. Sorry, I'm probably going to say that wrong a couple times. Awesome to have you, man. Glad to get you on here. A ton of fun. Go get Iron Lords podcast. Let that fill your ears on Sunday. Come hang out with me and Last of Us Part 2. Lots of good things going on, but episode 108, we got to wrap this thing up. June 19th. It's a good day, and it's the start of the weekend, so enjoy your weekend, and thank you guys for all coming in. And for this episode, it has been The Last Word.